Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
For the FCSL Semifinal Playoff Series and Leesburg Lightning Baseball. Something you'll enjoy. It's the PT Cafe, quite possibly America's Lightning ball
Mic
game.
check 1 2 3.
And for
Mic
better
check 1
ways
2
to
3.
return a foul ball to the Lightning team shop, you can get a ticket for a free slushie from the PT Cafe.
Mic check. Mic check. Mic check.
I just got to check the level.
Hello and welcome into Leesburg Lightning Baseball alongside my partner Esteban Velez, Vic Masley here at Pat Thomas Stadium, Buddy Lowe Field for some playoff baseball. It's the Snappers versus the Lightning, game 2 of round 1, and Leesburg's backs are against the wall. They must win tonight to force a game 3 tomorrow in Orlando. The winner heads into the championship series to face the Sanford River Rats. That starts on Saturday. But tonight, it's one pitch at a time for Coach Billings' squad as they try to force a Game 3. It is a must-win, and we talk about must-win games a lot, especially coming down to the wire in the end of the season and before playoffs, but this is a must-win and a crucial game for the Lightning. Esteban will be joining me in a second, and excuse us for some technical difficulties. Not really technical difficulties, just making sure we could hear on the stream and bring you some Lightning baseball, but it should be a good one. Leesburg fell to the Snappers back on Tuesday. That was a 2-1 loss. We saw a great pitching performance on both sides for the Lightning and for the Snappers. It was Ryan Fury who started the game going 3 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, though 2 runs did come across when he was on the bump. 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. On the other side, Brett Dennis was just about perfect. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, just 2 walks. Those were the only 2 walks of the entire ball game, and 4 strikeouts. It was a couple of plays that just didn't go the Lightning's way. One, the error by Ryan Jenkins, and then it was a ground rule double, actually. That was by Ledger Pleasant, and, well, if it wasn't a ground rule double, then it could have been a triple for him and then an RBI, which would have made it 2 runs for the Lightning. And if that error didn't happen at short by Ryan Jenkins, it would have been 2-1. But who's to say that the Snappers don't claw their way back later into the game? But the Leesburg bullpen has just been lights out. Lex Sanchez pitched 2 1/3, gave up just 1 hit, two walks, and 3 strikeouts. Carson Henriksen pitched an inning, as well as Steven Rojas. They gave up a combined 1 hit, 2 walks, and had 1 strikeout between the two. And they were absolutely dominant. And then Braden Rapp, 5 innings pitched for the Snappers in relief of Dennis, gave up 1 hit, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. He was absolutely amazing for Orlando and is a big reason as to why they were able to pick up the victory. So we were treated to an absolute pitcher's duel. The Snappers made seemingly every single play on the defensive end, a double play with the bases loaded that allowed the Lightning to score just their lone run of the ball game. Besides that, they came up empty just about every time. A couple great plays on the infield, one by Julian Mercado. Saw a couple good catches in the outfield, and it was just a defensive game for the Snappers, and they looked a little bit more like a playoff team than the Lightning did, but both teams really looked very sharp compared to earlier on in the season. The Lightning were giving up a ton of runs left and right, a ton of walks. They did issue 7 walks last night, and the Snappers issued just 2, so that was a huge difference maker. And when the Lightning don't get walked, they seem to have some trouble against teams and just struggle to generate their own power. So we'll go ahead and bring Esteban in. Esteban, it's good to be with you again. I was telling everyone about that game we saw back on Tuesday and how much of a dandy it was on both sides.
Absolutely, an absolute pitching stool like you just mentioned. And you talked about Orlando's pitching really solid, but Leesburg pitching as well. It's just a defensive miscue from shortstop of Fitzgerald, and that was really the difference maker.
Yeah, and of course you want to score more than just the 1 run, so you also have to give a little blame to the offense. But then again, on the other end, the Snappers made just about every play, took a lot of base hits away from the Lightning, and they struggled to get their leadoff men aboard. So yes, it ended up being a bigger error than it probably should have been for Ryan Jenkins, but that is not at all what lost the Lightning the game. It was a combination of the lack of offense and at the same time the Snappers just making about every single play they could on the infield, knocking balls down, keeping everything in front, and getting the Lightning out whenever they had the chance. So we'll go ahead and give you the starting lineups for both teams. We'll start with the Orlando Snappers.
Yeah, for the Snappers, a pretty common lineup. Except the first two hitters, they're going to switch swap. Matthew Farner will lead things off, and Blake Fields will be at second. In the battery, Grant Como at third. Aiden Gustafson will be the cleanup hitter, followed by the extra hitter, Mario Trivella. Walburn will hit number 6, followed by Hudson Gwynn, who's back in the hot corner after a tremendous diving play last game against Leesburg. Julian Mercado, the first baseman, will be number 8. Austin Persinski, catching for the 4th straight time, will be hitting number 9. Meanwhile, in the 10-hole, Daniel Irizarry will find himself in right field.
And that's all behind the Snappers starting pitcher, Rylan Happel, who we will see in the bottom half of the first inning. And as for the Lightning, they'll go with a different lineup than usual. Julian Irizarry will be leading us off, and he hasn't led us off, it seems, since earlier in June. It's mostly been Eli Thurman, but he will take the leadoff role, something that he is at least used to in a Lightning uniform. Just has been a while for him, so not a different spot, just hasn't been in that spot for a good bit. He'll play in left field, followed by Ryan Jenkins, moving back up to the 2-hole and playing at second base. Charlie Keller will bat third and play in right field. James Strom will clean things up and play at first base. Doing the catching is Cole Bolin. He'll bat fifth. Eli Thurman moves down to the 6th hole. He'll play in center field, followed by Riley Fitzgerald, one of the 2 extra hitters. He'll bat 7th. Batting 8th, Ledger Pleasant, the other extra hitter. He'll take a day off in the middle infield. And Reed Snyder will play at third base and bat 9th, followed by Grant Jordan, rounding out the order, batting 10th and playing at short, all behind the starting pitcher for the Lightning. It'll be Tanner Walker on the bump tonight. Once again for Leesburg, Irizarry, Jenkins, Keller, Strom, Bolin, Thurman, Fitzgerald, Pleasant, Snyder, and Jordan. Once again, all behind starting pitcher Tanner Walker. So far this season, the Orlando Snappers have had the Lightning's number. Leesburg is 1-5 against Orlando this season, including 3 straight losses to the Snappers going back to the 17th just last week. That was an 11-5 loss. The Snappers beat the Lightning on last Saturday. That was to get home field advantage. They won 7-3, and then just on Tuesday, it was a 2-1 victory for Orlando. So some things need to change for the Lightning. They need to have better luck against the Snappers tonight. Once again, is a must-win game. It is win or go home for the Leesburg Lightning. If they can pull out a victory, we will be playing tomorrow in Orlando at the First Academy. And, of course, the Snappers do not want to have to go and do that, but they will have home field advantage if that does present itself. And for the Snappers, obviously wanting to sweep and have a day off in between playing the Sanford River Rats on Saturday. No matter what, the River Rats are going to have 2 days off, so they should be well rested going into that game.
They don't need the rest, but they'll get it, and rightfully so. When they had such a great season like the one they've had, able to sweep the land in the playoffs, they get 2 days off. Meanwhile, the most impressive part about Orlando against Leesburg is here at Pat Thomas Stadium, they're undefeated when they come here on the road, and it's a tough crowd to play in front of, but it hasn't really faced the Snappers so far this year.
Right, not at all. The one game that the Lightning did win was the second game of a doubleheader that was in Orlando. So they have lost all the games here against the Snappers. And, well, with Orlando playing in such a short field over there, they had the advantage. But when they come here, it seems like they have also had the advantage this season.
Yeah, it seems like the smaller dimensions doesn't really – it does play an advantage, but it also doesn't face them when they go on the road and have to play in bigger fields like this one, DeLand, Winter Park, whatever it may be. The Snappers are just able to hit, and their pitching has come alive like we recently talked about, and that's been the forte for them in the last couple games.
Well, with playoff baseball in the mix now, we're always expecting a little bit more of a pitcher's duel than usual. We know that both teams have a high-powered offense, but the bullpen for the Lightning has just been so dominant, and the starting pitching has really come around. And for the Snappers, they seem to have solidified many things on their pitching side of things. And speaking of Tanner Walker, the starting pitcher for the Lightning, his last outing was an absolute beauty. His first and only time going 5 innings. He went 5 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, walked just 1 batter, and struck out 3. The free passes have been an issue for the Lightning pitching staff, so it was a really good sign to see him lower that free pass rate, and that really helped him out in his last start. One of just 2 pitchers to have gone 5 innings in a single outing. The second one was Brian Bertoft, who did it just a couple of days before Tanner Walker did, and In terms of the pitching staff, Leesburg has given up a total of 177 walks. That is second to Winter Park, who's given up 219. Of course, Winter Park really struggled this year in terms of pitching with a 6.63 ERA, but the Lightning just under 5, so it's still something that they need to work on, but as of late, it has been really sharp. Overall for Tanner Walker, he comes into this game with a 4.86 ERA, 1-1. This will be his 9th appearance and his 6th start. He's pitched 16 and 2/3 innings, given up 17 hits, 9 earned runs, 10 walks, and 13 strikeouts. So the free passes for him have been a little bit of an issue, at least coming into that last start. But over his last 3 outings, has given up just 1 free pass, although the last 2 outings before that, 5 innings, was just 1 inning, so 1 walk in 1 inning. Not exactly what you'd be hoping for Tanner Walker, but he will try to right the ship here tonight and continue on from his really good outing back on the 13th. But it's been about 11 days for him, and so we'll be eager to see him go out. We still got a couple minutes, it seems, till first pitch. It is 7 o'clock. This is when we were supposed to start Esteban. Things just moving a little bit slower here for the playoffs.
Yeah, sometimes they move faster, sometimes they move slower, but it looked like the Lightning fans are ready to get riled up. Riley Bublitz leading the way for them, and I always love this part about Leesburg.
Yeah, it's great. Riley has got a great voice. She's got a lot of energy, and she really gets the crowd into it. And it has filled up a little bit here from the past 30 minutes or so. It was looking a little bit sparse, but the Lightning fans have showed out. Still a little bit surprised we're not seeing a full grandstand, but maybe some people are a little bit late. It is a Thursday night. The Lightning do play some home games on Thursday, but obviously Friday and Saturday will draw bigger crowds. We got a 3-man umpiring crew for tonight's ball game. Matthew Schaefer will be behind home plate calling balls and strikes. Jordan Durham will be in the field, as well as Mark Morgan. Once again, Schaefer at home plate, Durham and Morgan in the field. We got a 3-man umpire crew for the playoffs, and I really like to see that. The Lightning are back in their 4th of July camo jerseys. Did not get to wear them on the 4th of July because that game was canceled, but they did wear it in the makeup game against the Suns. So it's their 2nd time wearing it. It's those red, white, and blue hats with the red brim and the Leesburg logo in the white part. The jerseys camo with those blue, blue stripes on the shoulder blades, and then a star on each side. Lightning written across the chest in blue, outlined in red, with their numbers in red on the front and backs of their jerseys. And they just look absolutely dapper. White pants and a blue belt given by this Leesburg organization. And the Orlando Snappers in their visiting orange jerseys with the yellow stripes on their shoulder blades. And they're wearing that green in the middle with the yellow spelling Orlando written across their chest. No outline on those jerseys. Also white pants and a black belt, it seems. So Snappers in their aways, and the Lightning in their 4th of July jerseys. And you can best believe that if the Lightning do win tonight, they'll bring those jerseys tomorrow to play at the First Academy. We were rained out yesterday. It was supposed to be a 7 o'clock start, and today would have been the Game 3 if necessary, but the field was just a little bit too wet to be playable. So we are playing here tonight, and hopefully we'll be able to get this one in, and then hopefully we'll have something to talk about in terms of tomorrow's ball game. The Lightning getting announced right now. We're just moments away from first pitch. Some pretty clear skies, some clouds in the area, but nothing harmful. Looking good for at least 7:05, 7:06 start time. Still got to give you the national anthem, and we will step aside just for that, but do not go anywhere. When we come back, it's the Lightning and the Snappers playoff Game 2, Round 1. Here we go. National anthem coming up, and then we'll be right after that break. Welcome back to Pat Thomas Stadium, just moments away from first pitch between the Lightning and the Snappers. Must-win game for Leesburg. And I'll mention it again, it's Tanner Walker on the hill, 6'2", 225 pounds, right here from Eustis, Florida, and out of Florida A&M University. Has had just 2 rocky outings. That was all the way back on June the 10th and June the 13th, where he gave up 3 runs in 1 inning on June the 10th and gave up 3 runs on just a third of an inning on June the 13th. But besides that, has given up 1 earned run or less in each of his other outings besides that one, and has looked very sharp as of late. First time going 5 innings was back on July the 13th, so that was a really good sign, and he should be fresh and ready to go with 11 days rest up until now, where he will face off against a really dynamic Snappers offense.
That's absolutely right. It's going to be led off by Matthew Farner today, one of the hottest batters in the league throughout the season, especially that first half of the FCSL campaign. He was leading the league in batting average, also up there with home runs as well. He's got almost 4 of those. This is the Snappers team that, again, because of the smaller dimensions, they can really hit the ball out of the yard, but it's going to be interesting to see how well they can do so here in Leesburg. We've had, for the Snappers, a lot of success here at Pat Thomas Stadium on the hitting side of things as well. Doesn't face them. It's a brand new or bigger ballpark compared to TFA.
A lot bigger at that, and it might go the Snappers' way in terms of, they hit balls in the gap left and right. They hit a lot more on the barrel than the Lightning do, so they can run for days, and we've seen a handful of triples from the Snappers, not just in other ballparks, but they've had a couple at TFA, which has been super surprising to me, and it's surprised that the Lightning haven't hit any here with so much outfield grass to work with. But we'll see if someone can get it done tonight, but we don't need triples. We just need some base hits. We did not see a lot of that in the first game. 11 total base hits between the 2 teams, just 3 total runs to score for it, or to show for it, excuse me. So Matthew Farner steps up to the plate. One of the best hitters in the Florida League, facing off against Tanner Walker, who's looked really good as of late. After Farner will be Fields and Como. And hopefully that is all that Tanner Walker has to deal with here in the first inning. The righty ready. He comes set right above the belt, takes a deep breath and fires. It is ball. It is a ball, and we are underway at Pat Thomas Stadium. .707 first pitch. We're happy to bring you Lightning baseball. Next offering from Tanner Walker gets a big swing and a miss from Farner. Looked like he's trying to do a lot with that one.
Yeah, Farner, a guy that can both hit for average and he can hit for power as well. It really depends on him, what count he has and what he wants to do in that at-bats.
1-1 on to Farner. He pokes this one into right field. That could be trouble for Keller, but it goes foul. So now a 1-2 count on Matthew Farner. Farner was 1 for 3 in game 1 back on Tuesday. He had a walk and a strikeout. Made some really good plays over there at shortstop, and he has been a sure-handed glove. Tough to get anything by him over there. We'll see that defense in the bottom half of the inning. Hopefully he won't be too much to handle for these Lightning bats. Snappers took away a lot of base hits in that game 1. 1-2 pitch, check swing. They'll appeal, say he did not go. Farner looked like he was able to hold up his swing on that one. And we'll see another offering from Tanner Walker. No wind, no breeze. Old Glory laying at rest right now. Walker ready again, the 2-2 delivery. Cold, strike 3. Farner doesn't like it, but he'll have to head back to the dugout. 1 down as Tanner Walker gets the looking strikeout of Matthew Farner. Great start for the righty.
That's a phenomenal pitch. If it caught the inside part of the strike zone, Farner couldn't believe that call, but he hits back to the dugout, and that's a great start for Walker.
Got to bring up Blake Fields, the recent draft pick for the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 14th round. But he has since not signed with the team, and he will attend Houston.
All right, that inside corner is getting the call today early.
Yeah, that looks like a pretty good pitch to Farner. Not sure why he didn't like it. Don't have the Yacker Tech here, so we can't give you an actual yes or no on if it was a ball or strike. It looked pretty good after I saw the replay a moment ago. 0-1 is over the head of Blake Fields.
That's one of the adjustments that both of these teams will have to make early on. If you see that strike zone getting called in one specific area like it's been so far in the first 2 batters. Got to be able to protect early on.
Walker's 1-1. Nice breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Strike 2. Clean first inning, so crucial for the Lightning. They have struggled this season, giving up 33 first inning runs. It's the most in any other inning for this pitching staff. On deck is Grant Como. He had a great back half of the season. These top 4 hitters for the Snappers, so dangerous. Farner, Fields, Como, and Gustafson, and Travella, too. And Walburn has been amazing. I mean, 1 through 10, they can hit. Tanner Walker just misses with the 2-2 offering. Another good breaking ball. A little too far off the plate for the liking of home plate umpire Matthew Schaefer. Blake Fields 0 for 1 in the first game. Walked twice. Walker delivers, gets a swing and a miss. 2 down. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tanner Walker. And he looks sharp to start things here in Leesburg.
That's what you want to see out of your starter. You talked about the crucialness, how important it is for Leesburg to get a clean first inning. They struggled in that department before. So far, they're 2/3 of the way there.
Tanner Walker, 13 strikeouts in 16 2/3 innings. So he's gone back and forth in terms of which outings he's been more of a strikeout pitcher or pitching more to contact. Can do both, which is a really good sign. Gets a big swing and a miss from Grant Como. That breaking ball looks like a curveball. It's just absolutely phenomenal from him. In his last time out where he pitched 5 innings, he had just 3 strikeouts. Already has 2 here tonight in just the first 2 batters. Did have 4 strikeouts when he pitched 3 1/3. That breaking ball way too far off the plate. Couple games with no strikeouts, so I would say more so pitches to contact. Had 3 strikeouts in an inning pitched. Struck out the side back on July the 5th. We'll see what he's got tonight. Already 2 Ks. 1-1 on the way. That's a called strike. Well, of course, only 3 total runs scored back on Tuesday, but the 7 walks given up by the Lightning compared to the 2 from the Snappers, well, it gave the Snappers more of an opportunity. Of course, they didn't really cash it in, but still, allowing 7 walks to just getting walked twice is usually not going to bode too well. And Leesburg has struggled when they have not been given a free pass by opponent pitching. Free passes, wild pitches, hit by pitches, you name it. The Lightning will take advantage. 2-2. Soft ground ball out to short. Grant Jordan charges, sidearm throw. Got him, what a play. Tanner Walker sits down the Snappers. 1-2-3. A pair of strikeouts to go along with a really good and clean first inning. Nothing doing for the Snappers and the Lightning. Coming up when we come back. Bottom half of the first inning, Tanner Walker, a great job sitting down some of the best bats for the Snappers this season. And Farner, Fields, and Como gets a pair of strikeouts. And now it's Rylan Happel on the mound for the Snappers. And to tell you more about him, Esteban Velez.
Well, Happel 1-1 this season. 1 win, 1 loss for the upcoming freshman. 2.74 his ERA, 7 games. Only his second start of the season. And the most impressive part and most important for him, he's really excited about this game, not just because it's playoff, but he wants to prove to Rich Billings when he goes back to Lake Sumter that he can start. He doesn't want to be a bullpen guy when he reaches college for the first time. Of course, Rich Billings, head coach for Lightning, his head coach at Lake Sumter. Rylan Happel has been aching to make this start against the Lightning, and this is his golden opportunity to showcase that he belongs up there with the big boys from inning number 1.
Yeah, and Tyler Garcia also out of Lake Sumter. We might see him later tonight make a bullpen appearance, or maybe not. We will see. So Irizarry will lead things off, followed by Ryan Jenkins and Charlie Keller. First pitch from Happel. That one misses off the plate for ball 1. Little different looking lineup. Irizarry in the leadoff spot. It's not Thurman. He drops down to the 6 hole. Riley Fitzgerald is in the lineup. Seen him in there the past couple days. Irizarry hits this one well to right field. And the other Irizarry drifts back, and he will make the grab. So Daniel Irizarry takes care of Julian Irizarry. I'm surprised that's the first time that it's happened, I think.
Either way, that's a scary start for Happel. It had me racing a little bit. That was a deep fly ball into right field, and immediately Rylan pointed up to the sky like, okay, that's a routine pop fly.
I thought it wasn't hit that hard, but I guess Irizarry gave it a ride more than we were expecting.
I was actually seeing the other day on TikTok so many pictures that they point up to the sky thinking it's a pop-up,
right,
it's a home run. I'm like, this
that's-
can't be the case.
Yeah. Well, Ryan Jenkins will bat now on the first pitch he sees, a called strike. Back to the lineup a little bit. James Straw moves back up into the 4 hole. Ryan Jenkins has batted second a good bit for the Lightning. Fitzgerald in there. Seen him the past couple of games batting, or starting at least for Coach Billings in the lineup. Another called strike to Ryan Jenkins. Reed Snyder moves all the way down to the 9 hole. He's consistently been hitting in the middle of the lineup. Ledger Pleasant in his normal spot towards the bottom in the 8 hole. He is the extra hitter, which we haven't seen a lot. Mainly plays in the middle infield, but he gives way to Grant Jordan and Ryan Jenkins. Oh, one missed way away with the breaking ball.
I'm intrigued to see what the approach for Lightning is going to be offensively because remember last game at TFA, they were really aggressive first 2, maybe even 3rd innings. But then after that, they kind of started taking some pitches and being more patient.
And I asked Coach Billings after the game if that was a game plan. He really said it wasn't just, some guys wanted to swing a little bit earlier. And after you see the first guy do it, some guys, will follow along even if that doesn't result in a base hit. They see their counterparts being able to see good pitches early on in the count, maybe they'll take advantage as well. Jenkins still in a 1-2 hole. Here's the pitch, and it misses way away. Looked like a slider. And a sweeper at that. Just the 3rd time Ledger Pleasant has been the extra hitter. Plays second or short usually for Coach Billings. One of the few times that there's not 2 catchers in this lineup for Coach Billings. It's just Cole Bolin, Trey Kraft, and Wroblewski both out of the lineup. Usually one of them will assume the extra hitter role. Ryan Jenkins has worked the count all the way back, and now it's full. And a lengthy at bat. 3-2 pitch. That's outside for ball 4. Appel is asking the home plate umpire where that last pitch was. He did not agree with it, but it will be a lengthy at bat for Ryan Jenkins, but he gets rewarded with a free pass. And that one right before it was also very close. But it looks like Happel kind of just nailed the same spot. When you don't get the call the first time, probably shouldn't pitch it there again. But looks like he might have. So he'll have to face Charlie Keller with 1 down and a runner aboard at first. Yeah, that last one was further off the plate than the second to last one. So at least a consistent strike zone from Matthew Schaefer. 1-0 misses upstairs. Charlie Keller comes into this game, 301 average. Is the only Lightning player to start and play in all 33 games coming into tonight. 31 hits, the most on the team. 9 extra base hits, that's the most. 18 RBIs is also a team lead. 3 home runs, 6 doubles, you name it, he leads in it. Also has 21 walks, which is behind Ryan Jenkins' 25. And he's way ahead here, 3-0. Might be looking for that 22nd walk. See if he's got a green light. And Happel puts it right over the heart of plate for strike one.
That's what you want to see in a 3-0 count from any pitcher. Last thing you want to see is a straight 4-pitch walk, especially after surrendering a free pass to batter before.
Runner goes, 3-1 is hammered into right field. Stay fair ball. That is foul. Oh no, it's gone. That's a home run. Charlie Keller puts the Lightning on the scoreboard. It's a 2-run shot, and Leesburg leads it 2-0. Hold up. Field umpire at first said it was a foul ball, right? He had both hands up, and then he changed his call at the last second. Terry Abbott is remaining in the dugout. Wow. Yeah, I'm watching it back right now, and it definitely was at least the umpire attempting to make the foul ball sign. And after that, he gave a twirl of the finger, and that signaled a home run. So a 2-run shot from Charlie Keller. James Strom will bat now with the bases clear, but the Lightning have done their damage so far this inning. 4th home run for Charlie Keller. One-0 roped into right field. That'll be down for a base hit. Lightning wasting no time. After a long flyout by Irizarry, a walk, a 2-run shot, and now a base hit from James Strom. And the batter will be Cole Bolin.
That's what the Lightning need to do. Be aggressive in the first inning. Down to your last game, potentially. You got Happel on the mound, who's not really known to making too many starts this season. Put the bat on the ball, get aggressive, get ahead early. So far, it's worked to perfection.
Cole Bolin's first at bat, first pitch swing, and he pops this one up into right center field. It's going to be Daniel Irizarry to grab it for out number 2. So Irizarry has retired the first 2 batters. Julian Irizarry and James Strom. In between that, a 2-run shot from Charlie Keller. Eli Thurman now, usually the leadoff batter for the Lightning. He is the 6th hole tonight, but he does get to bat here in the first inning. Foul tips that first one for strike 1. Thurman so far hitting .275, 25 hits and 91 at-bats. 20 runs scored. It's behind Ryan Jenkins' 24. Couple doubles, 7 RBIs. Remember, he usually bats leadoff, so doesn't have the most amount of opportunities to drive in runs. And he's quickly down on the count, 0-2. Sun's poking out here, turned into a beautiful day. It's a little bit cloudy when we first got here. 1-2, Thurman hits it into center field, but that'll hang up for Blake Fields. He's got that for out number 3. But the Lightning strike first. It's a 2-run shot off the bat of Charlie Keller, his 4th home run of the season, and makes for a 2-0 Leesburg lead as we head into the second inning here. Top of the second inning, in case you missed it, Charlie Keller hit one over the right field wall, and that ball might be in the water with how much it was hooking and towards the foul territory. And the closer you hit it towards foul territory, more likely it'll head into Lake Harris. And I think that ball might be a little bit wet. And it was just inside the foul pole for a home run, but just barely. Leading us off is Hayden Gustafson. Tanner Walker had a 1-2-3 first inning. And anytime the Lightning have a clean first, Coach Billings is really hopeful about the outcome of those games. 1-0 almost hit him. Walker behind, 2-0 in the count. His next offering to Gustafson, that misses. So quickly, 3-0. James Strom with that base hit last inning. Has now reached base safely in 17 straight games. Now extends his hit streak to 5. 3-0 is in the zone, now 3-1. Kettler has another base hit. He'll have 10 two-hit games this summer for the Lightning, and his 9 already lead the team. Big swing and a miss from Gustafson. He was 0 for 4 in the first game with 3 strikeouts. He had no luck against any of the Lightning pitchers. He's looking for some luck here against Tanner Walker. In a 3-2 count, here it is. Rounded foul. He's able to fight it off. And all 3 of those strikeouts were swinging. And he was just overpowered.
It's a guy that came in aggressive in that game after winning the FCSL Hitter of the Week honors. Talked about didn't have any luck.
Walker again with a 3-2, and he gets another foul ball.
Talked to him earlier today. See what was going through his head during that week where he actually crushed that ball just last week, actually. He said he didn't really make any adjustments. He just locked in a little bit more.
Was it 3 home runs in 4 games for him? Yeah, he's just been on a tear last couple weeks of the season. Another 3-2 pitch. Oh, man, right off of Tanner Walker. He collects, and he throws Gustafson out. Wow, they're going to have to check on him real quick. I think his arm, I think it hit off his arm a little bit and got a piece of his stomach. But that got all of Tanner Walker. I don't think it got any part of his glove. He's shaking it off. I'm surprised no one's going out to check on him. Man, talk about tough as nails, twice as sharp.
Tough as nails, as unlucky as you can get it for Hayden Gustafson. You hit that one perfectly, up the middle, perfect timing, perfect contact. Just couldn't get it past the pitcher, Walker.
Ooh, yeah.
So unfortunate.
Hopefully it got a little bit of both his arm and his stomach, so you know, it's a little 50-50 trade-off, and it didn't get all of just one piece of him. Batter now, Mario Travella, another really hot bat for Orlando. He went 1 for 4 in game 1, scored a run. He also struck out twice. Well, it's also insult to injury when they hit you and then you can't get the out, so at least Tanner Walker was able to get him. And he gets a big swing and a miss from Mario Travella. On deck is William Walburn. Lightning doing everything they can to avoid hitting it to left field. Walburn's made some crazy plays out there. 2 diving catches back here on Saturday. Gwynn over there at third base for the Snappers. It's usually been Gustafson the past few games. But Gwynn has gotten that turn with Gustafson being a little bit banged up. I know you mentioned that. 2-2, just barely misses.
Yeah, Gustafson, his hip isn't quite working the way he wants it to. It's a little bit tight. So he talked to Gwynn and Coach Abbott and decided to switch off both of them. And it worked out for last game.
Yeah, Gwynn made some really, really fantastic plays at third base. Stole at least a couple of base hits. Travella hits this softly to center field, but that'll hang up there for Eli Thurman. 2 down.
Well, it looks like Walker's okay after that little hit.
Right, yeah. He's doing just fine. He's got great command of off speed and his fastball. The batter will be William Walburn. Walburn went 1 for 2 in that first game. He had that RBI double. That was the only RBI for the Snappers. Remember, both teams gave up just 1 earned run. It was the error by Jenkins that allowed the second run to score for the Snappers. But we've touched on that enough, and I will say it again, that is not what cost the Lightning that game. Another pop-up to Eli Thurman. That's a can of corn. Shades over to his left a couple and grabs it for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 frame for Tanner Walker. That sends us to the bottom half of the second inning. The Lightning looking to add on to their 2-0 lead. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got playoff baseball here in Leesburg. Esteban Velez, Vic Masley here with you at Pat Thomas Stadium. Buddy Low Field, and leading us off is Riley Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has been more of a pitcher for Coach Billings this season than he has on the hitting side. Pops this first one up in the infield. Hudson Gwynn, the third baseman, in foul ground, now comes over and makes the grab in fair territory for out number 1. That was pretty quick. First pitch pop up, and 1 down already for Happel. Fitzgerald, .231 batting average, 9 hits and 39 at-bats. It's very impressive considering how infrequently he plays, and it's very sporadic, I would say. And then the lineup 1 game, then maybe he doesn't play for the next 2, and then he's in it again, doesn't play for the next 3. So he never really knows when he's going to get the call. He's played in 17 games, has started in just 12. Excuse me, go ahead, please.
It's so hard to be a consistent player when that's the case, because
this one into right field, giving ground is Irizarry, but it goes foul. Please continue.
Because you never really know, like you said, when you're going to be in the lineup, what warm-ups you have to do, your mentality going into it. When you're an in and out of the guy lineup, it really is tough. I remember playing college soccer. Sometimes I was in and out for a couple of seasons, and mentally it's draining because I go to the ballpark thinking, okay, what am I going to do today?
Right.
That's the same thing these guys must be feeling.
Well, I luckily didn't have to worry about that because our baseball team wasn't the best, and I was pretty mediocre, so that made me one of the best. So
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I showed up knowing where I was going to play. I knew second base was going to be a wall every time I went out there. Sometimes it was a little bit iffy here and there.
Broken wall?
Yeah, there's a couple cracks in it every now and again. 1-2 to Pleasant, excuse me. That one's off the plate. Be curious to see how Reed Snyder handles hitting in the 9-hole. So used to seeing him batting in the middle of the lineup. 4, 5, or 6. The tall righty delivers a 2-2. Called strike 3. And that takes care of Ledger Pleasant. He goes down looking for out number 2. Still waiting for Reed Snyder to come up in a big-time moment late in the game in this song to fire everybody up.
You like this song?
I mean, it's just a really good walk-up song. I think in that scenario, you'd have to let the walk-up song go a little bit longer than usual and hope Reed Snyder plays along with it and has a slower walk. First pitch breaking ball lands for Happel. I've heard it called so many different names. I listened to your pregame report. Happel?
Apple.
Happel. Okay.
Like an apple.
Yeah. And those are names where you really can get away with saying it, I would say, like 3 different ways, kind of. Same with my name, Maslea or Maslea. Called strike on a Reed Snyder. He's down in the count 1-2.
Velez and Velez as well.
Yeah.
I wonder if apple's his favorite fruit.
Maybe so. Maybe at least favorite fruit. Did you say fruit? Oh.
You heard food?
I heard food. Maybe that's not a good sign. Deuce is wild here for Reed Snyder. Apple working out of the windup, and he wheels around this 2-2 pitch, and Reed Snyder swings right under it for out number 3. A couple strikeouts for Happel. It sends us to the 3rd inning, still a 2-0 lead for the Lightning. Top 3 here in Leesburg. Still a 2-0 lead after the Charlie Keller 2-run shot. Leading the Snappers off is Hudson Gwynn, followed by Julian Mercado and Austin Pierzynski. Pierzynski, 4 games in a row catching for the Snappers. And he's a great defensive catcher, and he's hit the Lightning really well. Last game, he had a couple of base hits. Obviously, didn't have the best season at the plate for the best regular season, but he's hit the Lightning pretty well. And obviously a tremendous defensive catcher, and with Gustafson being a little banged up, you don't want him behind there. But there are 5 catchers on the Snappers roster, so why Pierzynski for 4 games in a row?
Well, a couple of them have been needed to, cover some grass in the outfield. Walburn, for example,
Right.
He's a catcher. He's been in left throughout the majority of the season. Mezzanotte hasn't really gotten too many opportunities behind the plate. Talked about Gustafson being injured.
This one's popped up into right field. Charlie Keller coming over and into foul ground. He makes the grab, 1 down.
And then Jax Carter hasn't really found his groove on the hitting side of things or behind the plate. And you look at Brzezinski, you talked about his struggles offensively. Yes, but also he's got a cannon behind the plate. So defensively, it's a guy that can really afford to get you so many outs on the base path, stealing guys, getting them out. And you talked about his performance last game on the hitting side of things. 2 hits, when he's doing that, finally waking up his bat, hopefully, you got to give him another opportunity to continue to showcase that in playoff fashion.
Right, and obviously going to UAB, tremendous defensive catcher just like his dad, and I'm sure the bat will come around. It's summer ball, first time facing collegiate-style pitchers, so has plenty of time, and hopefully he gets some reps at UAB in his first year. Batter Julian Mercado, first baseman for the Snappers. 1-0 pitch to him, nice breaking ball, finds his own.
I actually talked to his dad about it. I was like, what's the biggest adjustment that, he's trying to making the way from high school into summer ball league here in Orlando? He said it's velocity for him. Those high 80s, low 90s, sometimes even mid 90s. He's not used to it.
Right, facing off against pitchers that throw that, right? Right. Well, the thing about that, another thing about that is, you would think, well, wouldn't he have a tough time catching guys that throw faster? But for him, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, he's such a good defensive catcher, and he's obviously had to practice this summer. But in terms of batting and hitting against it, it's a whole different beast in itself. But I'm sure that earlier on in the season, he had a couple hiccups. Guys have, breaking balls that are sometimes the same speed as the high school pitcher's fastballs that he was catching just months before. 2-2. Fouled out of play.
Well, and the only guy that's come straight out of high school and has had success in summer ball in the Florida League this season has been Blake Fields.
Right.
For every single team, it's only been Blake. So that really talks about how hard it is to make that transition from high school into college ball. Julian Mercado, who's at the plate, another great example.
2-2 to Mercado in the dirt. Another full count pitch from Tanner Walker, this time to Mercado.
Look at his numbers, 200, his batting average around that gap. Started off the season well. First at bat, he ripped a double, but after that, he's really slowed down offensively. Again, it goes back to that velocity, that timing.
Really great defensive first baseman, though. 3-2, he pokes this one out into left field. That's down for a base hit. He takes a big turn around first, but he'll head back. It's a long run for Irizarry to get there. First hit given up by Tanner Walker. It comes off the bat of Julian Mercado. And it's a one-hit single for Austin Pierzynski, the new batter.
Not the hardest hit ball, not the best hit ball at all by any means by Mercado, but it worked to perfection. He placed it into shallow left field. No one was there. Irizarry had a run, and Mercado extends the inning with one away.
That's called hitting it where it's pitched. Got a ball tailing towards the outside part of the plate to Mercado and just stuck his bat out there and was able to get a bloop single. First one to Pierzynski, misses low and in. Only snapper with more than one base hit. He had two in game one. Also scored a run. Struck out once. But his first hit came against the Lightning, and that was a home run. So he has seen Lightning pitching pretty well. He fouls that one out of play.
He absolutely did. Even this past Saturday in the regular season here at home, he got his base hit as well. Something about playing against the Leesburg Lightning that kind of fires him up. Whether it's at TFA or on the road at Leesburg.
Walker having to deal with his first runner aboard, and it's Julian Mercado at first. See if he's in motion. He's not. Next offering is just off the plate. Seen that be a little bit of an inconsistent call from Schaefer. But he's leaned more towards giving it as a ball. Tanner Walker delivers a 2-1, and it's nubbed foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Daniel Irizarry, but Tanner Walker would love to face the minimum for the 3rd straight inning. It would take a nice ground ball. Pierzynski faster than the average catcher, but still catcher speed nonetheless. Two swung on and missed. Tanner Walkie gets Pierzynski on strikes, and that will bring up Daniel Irizarry, but 2 are down.
We talked about the velocity, the adjustment that he's had to make. That's a fastball upstairs. A little bit too late on that swing.
Yeah, and chasing the fastball upstairs, that is a common, I guess, mistake from guys at his age going into college. Just too enticing of a pitch to lay off of. First one to Irizarry. Nice breaking ball, called strike. He's landed that curveball pretty much every time, it seems. Irizarry been the go-to 10-hole batter for Coach Abbott. And another nice breaking ball. Irizarry lays off quickly 0-2. So Tanner Walker has Irizarry right where he wants him. Mercado's still over there at first base. The lone snapper runner to reach. 0-2 on the way. That one's up and away. A good pitch by Tanner Walker to try to get in a swing and a miss. But Daniel Irizarry with a couple more years than Austin Pierzynski, a more disciplined eye.
You can tell Walker likes to go to that fastball upstairs, especially when he's ahead in the count, whether it's 0-2, 1-2, maybe even when it's an even count at 2-2. He trusts that fastball high. He trusts Bolin to glove it in. He's not afraid to let it rip.
It's always good when your pitcher is trusting his fastball, especially early and late in the count. 1-2 in the dirt. Good block by Cole Bolin. He's been an absolute wall for the Lightning. Does not let a lot get by him. And that coupled with the Lightning pitching staff doing a better job in terms of limiting wild pitches. It has been really nice to see. Not a lot of balls getting behind Cole Bolin when he's out there. Deuces wild for Daniel Irizarry. Tanner Walker delivers. That's off the plate. Now at 52 pitches on the night. Has given up just the one base hit, but has gotten into a lot of full counts. That is why the pitch count is up there. 52 and hasn't gotten the third out yet. Payoff pitch, runner goes, check swing, he did. Tanner Walker gets back-to-back strikeouts and works around a one-out base knock. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. That'll send us to the bottom half of the third inning. Still 2-0 Leesburg. Bottom of the third inning, Grant Jordan will lead us off, followed by Irizarry and Jenkins. Happel still out on the mound for the Snappers. Still a 2-0 lead. Orlando picked up their first base hit last inning off the bat of Julian Mercado. Besides that, nothing. Back-to-back strikeouts for Tanner Walker to end that frame. 4 total on the night. His most in an outing is 4, so we'll hope to see him go at least maybe 5 or 6 strikeouts tonight. But we will see. Lightning bullpen is quiet, so it looks like it'll be Tanner Walker's next inning. 0-1 to Grant Jordan. He fouls that out of play. Jordan still struggling, hitting just a .128 this season. Was one of the later additions. 5 for 39, 3 runs scored, 7 RBIs. He's walked 6 times, but 5 hits, 7 RBIs. He's making his hits count. But he's been a sure-handed glove over there at short. That's been his main position he's played this summer. Won Defensive Player of the Year this past spring at Pasco Hernando. Coach Billings was really excited to see him play for the Lightning. Jordan 11 starts at short, 1 start at second, and that has been it. 12 total started for him on the season. 2-2, watches that go upstairs. Jordan just 2 errors. He's had 20 putouts. Full count pitch to him. That is off the plate for ball 4. It's a leadoff walk. Already the same amount of free passes issued from the Snappers as they had in game 1. That is just 2. Lightning usually have more success when they are given more free passes. They have struggled to generate their own momentum in many of these games. But Charlie Keller did it himself. 2-run shot, barely kept it fair. A little confusion by the home plate, or excuse me, by Jordan Durham, the field umpire, on whether or not it was fair or foul. But it is tough. The foul poles are not very big at all, not tall. So you really have to have a good eye. Jordan, a healthy lead at first. The first pitch to Irizarry misses off the plate. Back to the top of the order. Julian Irizarry flew out to Daniel Irizarry in right field. No relation between the two.
Not at all.
Maybe long-lost brothers, but no direct correlation between the two that we haven't found out, or that we have found out. 2-0 off the plate. Happel now struggling with his command. Did have 2 strikes onto Grant Jordan. Both Happel and Tanner Walker have gotten into a lot of full count pitches. Mirror opposite of the approach the Lightning had in game 1. That is ball 4, and Irizarry had to be told that that was the 4th ball. So he walks down to first base, but in game 1 for the first 2 innings, maybe even 3, the Lightning were swinging on the first pitch or the first couple of pitches. Not really much luck for them. But then they started to see deeper counts, but both Dennis and Rapp didn't really allow for long counts because they were pounding the zone.
Yeah, that's something that Riley and Happel hasn't been able to do so far too much in this game, especially not in this inning.
So Grant Jordan at second now, and Ryan Jenkins squares to bunt. He pulls it back, but it is a strike.
It's always so tough when you fall behind in the count, especially no one away, and now you got 2 aboard. Good on Happel to go ahead against Jenkins.
So see if Ryan can get this bunt down. Does have 1 strike. He squares. That pitch is upstairs. Grant Jordan scampers back to second base. Jenkins trying to get it down the third base line. Make it tough for Gwynn to make a decision on whether or not to charge it. With Farner holding on Grant Jordan at second, no one would be covering third base if Gwynn fielded the ball. 1-1 is off the plate again. Lightning have the most sack bunts in the Florida League this season. I believe the number is 12. I just had it pulled up. That is right, 12 bunts, and another one here from Ryan Jenkins. He might beat it out. Happel has to put it into his back pocket. It's not a sack bunt, that's a bunt for a hit. He does move both runners over, and that was an absolute beauty. Hit it softly enough so that Hudson Gwynn had no chance of getting it, but hit it hard enough so that Perzinski had no shot of getting there, and Happel had to come off the mound, and it was placed really close to that third base line, and there was no shot to get anyone out.
That's an unbelievable piece of bunting by Jenkins. He's got speed. He showcased it right there, used his wheels in his favors, and got himself a sacrifice, a hit himself.
Yeah. And that puts the bat in the hands of Charlie Keller, coming off of a 2-run shot back in the first inning. And he's looking to make a whole lot more damage here in this at-bat with the bases juiced. First one, Tapper, Mercado, and it's going to be a dead ball. Believe it hit off of Charlie Keller, or it went foul, or something happened, but I'm going to take a look back on our center field camera.
I don't know who the call favors, Orlando or Leesburg.
Yeah, well, Mercado, it seemed like he was going to field it and just flip it with his glove to home. I don't know if he would have gotten Grant Jordan, who's very speedy, and of course, going on the crack of the bat. Would have been a bang-bang play, but I think that there is only one play, and that's to first to get Keller. But, you know, Charlie doesn't want to get on base with that type of hit. He's looking for something hit a whole lot harder. Looked like it did hit off the foot of Charlie. That home run back in the first, his 4th of the summer. That's 3 more than any other Lightning player. His 10th extra base hit. 1-1. Breaking ball, called a strike on the inside part of the plate. Quickly a 1-2 count. Jordan at third, Irizarry at second, and Jenkins is at first after that bunt single. Happel back to the windup with the bases loaded. Great stop by Pierzynski, able to keep it in front.
It's another big reason why. 4 straight game behind the plate. He can do miraculous work defensively, stuff like that. It's a huge backstop here, too.
Yep.
A lot more pressure.
Snappers bullpen busy now with Happel in a world of trouble. 2-2 pitch. That's off the plate. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Looks like it's Christian Borbely. I could maybe make out a 2.
They got 3 total pitchers over there. Might as well get them all loose.
Give Terry Abbott some options of who he wants to put in. Full count to Charlie Keller. He pops this one up, shallow center field. Long run for Farner. Coming in is Fields, and he makes the grab at his shoelaces. In shallow center field, Grant Jordan will not tag up, so it will be a pop-up out. 1 down here. Huge out for the Snappers.
That right there is a huge reason why Blake Fields got drafted this MLB draft.
Exactly.
What a play by the center fielder. He had to battle not just the baseball and a long run, but also Matthew Farner and the second baseman of Greg Como. Communication, but Blake Fields was able to come up with it.
That one almost in no man's land. It really was, but Blake Fields so fast, playing pretty deep in center field with a much deeper ballpark here at Pat Thomas. Able to make the shoelace-style grab, and James Strom, now the batter, he had a base hit in his first at-bat back in the first inning. That was after Keller's 2-run shot. Great chance for the Lightning to pad their lead, but they have struggled with the bases loaded. 1-0 swing and a miss. Strom on the season 0 for 3 with the bases juiced. With runners in scoring position, he's hitting just .214. So an opportunity for him to pad his own stats. Hitting .238 with runners on in general. 1-1, fouled out of play. Happel ahead, 1-2 to James Strom. Here it is from the righty, and Strom pops this one up. Shallow left field this time. Gwynn, and shallow left field, makes the grab for out number 2. Once again, not deep enough to get a runner in, and the Lightning down to their final out here in this 3rd inning.
2 enormous pop-ups. Shallow territory, first and shallow center. This one just at the edge of the grass. And Ryland Happel, one magic trick away from working out of this spectacular inning.
Cole Bowen, the last hope for the Lightning, to try to get at least one run across and extend their 2-0 lead. Bolin to fly out to Irizarry in right field back in the first inning. That is a called strike. Beautiful breaking ball. Cole Bolin has quieted down since his really good week in the middle of the season, hitting just .230, 17 hits, and 74 at-bats. 0-1, breaking ball that never broke. But Bolin has made up for it. He's an excellent catcher. Just hasn't gotten his bat too hot yet. But remember, did not play at the University of Florida. So not a lot of at-bats, not any at-bats this spring against live pitching in an in-game scenario. Just missed, and Lightning might have had a break there. Cole Bolin with 3 doubles and only 5 RBIs. And this would be the time to find a gap if you're him. 2-1 up the middle. Farner fields it. He bobbles it, and there will be no play. The Lightning score. It's 3-0. Farner, one of the best shortstops in the league, looked like he was going to get Cole Bolin out and save a run for the Snappers, but that was not the case. He bobbles it and can never get a grip on it, and the Lightning score a run. It will be an E6. But the Lightning will take anything that they can get.
You know, Farner, like you said, he's been one of the best shortstops in the league offensively. He struggled with his glove this season.
Well, at least against the Lightning, he's been lights out. Eli Thurman, first pitch, popped it up. Pierzynski has a beat on it and foul ground and barely able to make the grab. So Thurman is out. The Lightning do pick up 1 run. We'll still say it's a win for the Snappers. They're able to just minimize the damage to the 1 run and leave 3 stranded on the base pass. 3-0 lead as we head into the 4th here in Leesburg. 3-0 lead for the Lightning, thanks to an error by Matthew Farner, who is at the dish right now, looking to make up for it with a good at-bat against a tough Tanner Walker, who has been lights out tonight so far. And I misspoke a little bit. That was Farner's 11th error on the season, so he has struggled at short, but he's made a lot of great plays against the Lightning, and especially ones up the middle, like that one he almost made the last half inning. Seen a couple balls look like they were going to creep up the middle, and Farner has taken those potential hits away, but unable to glove it and make a throw to first base, and Cole Bowen was in safely, and that means the Lightning up 3-0. But a lot more work to do here. Snappers always, it seems, just one swing away from getting right back into the ball game. Called strike. Always good to see a leadoff batter not batting for the second time until the 4th inning. Has been something that the Lightning starting pitching has struggled with. Getting through the first couple of frames. Mentioned those 33 first inning runs that they've given up. 17 in the second and third innings. But have also struggled a lot in the 5th and 6th, giving up 26 and 25 runs respectively. 0-2 just a bit outside to Matthew Farner. He struck out looking back in the first inning. And this is just his second at bat here in the 4th inning. Sun's starting to set here in Leesburg. About to be fully under the lights at Pat Thomas Stadium. Good crowd here. 1-2, missed with that breaking ball. Good take for Matthew Farner. Looks like there's some stretching going on in the Lightning bullpen, but it's not buzzing just yet. Two hit to right field. Charlie Keller giving it chase, and that's going to exit foul. Wish we could see the distance on that home run from Charlie Keller. That was hit a long ways. I don't know if anyone ever found that baseball. Could be in the lake.
There's a couple cars over there, too. It's dangerous.
Good fight for Matthew Farner. Might be one of the first times a Lightning pitcher has to come out, more so due to a pitch count than to Coach Billings wanting to go with someone else. He might be forced to take out Tanner Walker. 59 pitches so far, and Matthew Farner rockets this into center field, but it'll hang up for Eli Thurman, one down. It is the playoffs, though, and Tanner Walker, of course, just going to be a starter for this playoffs, and Coach Billings might let him eat and go as long as he can. It's not like he has thrown a ton of pitches in his previous outings. Coach Billings normally doesn't send guys more than 3 or 4 innings, just had 2 pitchers go 5. Blake Fields will bat. He also struck out in the first inning. His was swinging, though, and he looks at that one for a called strike. One, he just gets a singular stitch of it. Tanner Walker quickly ahead 0-2. It's interesting that Walker's pitch count is higher than usual, despite only giving up the 1 hit. That's been the only base runner, just long counts. Snapper's really battling. 0-2, popped up foul again. There it is.
Yeah, if you can't figure a pitcher out, you might as well just work up his pitch count. That's one way to get him out of the game.
Right.
That's what we've seen from Orlando doing so far. And for Tanner Walker, he's been nothing but spectacular. All zeros across on the board for him.
Yeah, well, most teams want to get into opponents' bullpens, but I wouldn't say so if you're the opponent of Leesburg. The bullpen for the Lightning has been lights out this year. Seems like every move that Coach Billings makes is the right one, similar to how he doesn't really have the starting pitchers go that long. He usually has relief pitchers go no more than 2 innings. Last night we saw Rapp go 5 innings, actually 1 more inning than the starter. Blake Fields hits this well to left field, drifting back is Irizarry. He does not have it. It hits off of his glove into second base for a stand-up double is Blake Fields. That is the second hit for the Snappers, and it's a big one.
That's a huge one for Blake Fields. He monstered that one over the left side, over the head of Irizarry, who had to play it on a hop over the fence, and that is a huge hit, like you just said, for Blake Fields, and not just him, but for the Orlando Snappers. Now you have the heart of the lineup due up for them, and hopefully if you're a Snappers fan, this gets your offense going.
Thought I maybe saw it glance off the glove of Irizarry. I thought for a second he might have hauled it in. But taking a look at it again, it looks like he just stuck his glove up there, seeing if he could maybe haul it in, but he could not. Como the batter. So runner in scoring position. He lines this one foul. That would have been trouble. After Como, it's Grant Gustafson, and it looks like Como might have splintered his bat a little bit. Gustafson will check on it. He'll trade some wood with him. I want to thank you everyone for tuning in, wherever you might be. Listening to the Leesburg Lightning on Varsity Sports Nation. Whether you're here in Florida, the Peach State in Georgia, we've got some fans up there. One is fouled away, quickly 0-2. Tanner Walker ahead, Grant Como for 1, grounded out in the first inning. Back-to-back frames with hits for the Snappers. At least some of them might be starting to figure out Tanner Walker. Another foul ball from this Orlando team. They're just spoiling pitch after pitch from Tanner Walker.
Again, what that does is get that pitch count up for Walker. Get more pitches to see if you're Como here, if you're Orlando into dugout. Get a better feel for the pitcher.
Walker way ahead. He takes a look at Fields on second, now fires. Tapper over his glove. It's Ryan Jenkins at second. Crossbody throw. They got him. What a play. Ryan Jenkins gets Grant Como. And boy, was that a huge out. Now 2 down for Hayden Gustafson. Moving over to third is Blake Fields.
What a play by the second baseman of Jenkins. He had to make that play to perfection, and he did, because Como can run. Not the speediest of guy, but he's not slow either. He's got average speed, and he showed it right there, but it doesn't matter when you have a second baseman like Jenkins.
Jenkins has struggled a little bit at shortstop with his throws, but that was a perfect one at second. First pitch to Hayden Gustafson, misses low and away. Grounded out to Tanner Walker. That was the line drive, that hit off of Walker, and he was able to collect it and make the underhand toss to James Strom at first base. One 0 off the plate from Tanner Walker. That was his 70th pitch, or 71st, There is a righty warming up in the Lightning bullpen. So we'll see how long Tanner Walker will last, if this might be his last inning, or if Coach Billings will let him eat a little bit. Usually it's Coach Billings the one to smell trouble and to yank his pitcher. It's usually not the pitch count that does them in. Walker way behind 3-0. That pitch misses. It is a 4-pitch walk to Hayden Gustafson.
Headed to the plate, the number 1, Mario Trivella.
I have to think that line drive was in the back of the head of Walker. It stung. He's probably still thinking about it. 4 straight out of the strike zone. It happens.
Cole Bullen will go and talk with his righty. Mario Trivella will be the batter.
It's not only that he hit it well, but the fact that, or not only that he hit it against Walker, but the fact that he did square it up, right up the middle. Might still be thinking about that. But now the negative for Leesburg, you have to face still the heart of the lineup of Mario Trivella, and after him it's Willie Walburn, and these two guys have played really good baseball as of late, especially in postseason play. One came in this past week entirely. Last week, these bats have been getting going for both of these stars.
So Coach Billings will go out and talk to Tanner Walker. Warming up in the bullpen is Scout Updike for the Lightning. So Travella could very well be Tanner Walker's last batter. I think Coach Billings trying to waste as much time for Scout Updike to get ready, but he has been warming up for a good bit. Home plate umpire Matthew Schaefer will take a visit out there. We'll speed up this process.
Yeah, for Travella, the mentality here is don't try and get this game tied up with one swing. He can certainly do so. He's got 5 home runs this season, second best in the league. But that's not what you need right now. It's only the 4th inning. Just need to put something in play, put it down for a hit, get at least 1 run, get the Snappers comfortable in the scoring column today.
Walker obviously trying to get the Snappers off the scoreboard as much as he can. Does have to just get 1 out. But Travella is one of the toughest outs in the league. Runners at the corners, 2 down. See if Gustafson goes. He does not. First pitch is a called strike on the outer half.
That's crucial for Walker. Get ahead in the count early. Dictate the at-bats. Can't let Travella settle in.
0-1, another breaking ball, but that went too far off the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gustafson still aboard at first. Remember, Gustafson is a catcher, so might be a little hesitant to go. Doesn't want to be that 3rd out over there at second base, but if he is in there safely, Blake Fields might be able to score. 1-1, that's a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tanner Walker trying to strand a pair here in the 4th.
Well, if I'm Travella, I'm expecting a pitch inside. Walker's worked outside, 3 straight.
Either that or he'll go even further off the plate. We will see. Tanner Walker delivers. Check swing, they'll appeal. Oh, they say he didn't go. Oh, man, that was close. Big groan from this Leesburg faithful. They wanted it, and it looked like Mario Travella win, at least with his body language.
And he did go back to that pitch outside. He's had success against Travella.
Not a bad pitch to go to. We'll see where he goes to now. Maybe a fastball up in the zone. Deuce is wild. Tanner Walker will fire again. The pitch is in the dirt. We'll see a full count. Ooh, yeah. His body went around, but it did look like he was able to hold up his swing. And with 3 umpires, we do have one down the first base line, so they had a pretty good view of it. And unbiasedly, I agree with the call. Another full count pitch. Gustafson will get a head start. There he goes, 3-2. It's a grounder out to Grant Jordan. He charges, backhand throw, got him! Oh no, they don't! The ball gets past. A run will score. Gustafson takes a big turnaround third, and the Snappers do get a run. Oh, I thought they had him. I think I was a little too antsy for that one. Oh, great play by Grant Jordan, just even field it. That one stings. So the Snappers do pick up a run. They've got him at 2nd and 3rd, still 2 down.
Now batting number 36, William Walker.
Taking a look at that play again. I was almost trying to will that play into existence, it seemed. And Coach Billings will come out there. It looks like Tanner Walker's night will be done. Well, he just pitched fantastic in his 3 2/3 innings. And Billings hasn't made the call just yet, but Scout Updike approaching that fence. And he will come out for Leesburg. So Tanner Walker's night is done. We'll tell you about Scout Updike when we come back. It's now a 3-1 ball game. The Lightning's still up. So Scout Updike is the new pitcher for the Lightning. He comes into this game with an inflated ERA of 8.31. He's made just 4 appearances. 1 of them has been a start. He is 0-1. So just 4 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. One of those late additions for Coach Billings, so hasn't pitched as much as guys that have been here since the start. Stands 6 foot 220 out of Jacksonville U. Last time out was July 17th, and that was his worst outing. He gave up all 4 of his earned runs just in an inning and a third back on July the 17th. And that was, yes, against the Snappers. That helped contribute to their 11 runs scored in that inning. Faces William Walburn now. And next one, line foul. Just has to get the 1 out, but has a couple ducks on the pond. Actually, the tying run over there in scoring position in the form of Mario Travella.
And Walber's had success in this ballpark. He's got a grand slam the opposite way. I came back earlier in the season, but right now it's Updike winning the battle 0-2.
0-2 from Updike, misses upstairs. As of now, that is an error by James Strom over there at first. It could get changed. Obviously, I was focused on giving that final out call, so I didn't really notice on if it was an error or should have gone as a base hit. Ooh, that bat goes flying. Oh, my goodness. And that will be strike 3. So Scout Updike sits down William Walburn. He's got some extra words to say. It's getting a little chippy here. Both teams just received a warning. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that when we come back from the break. It's a 3-1 ball game, and things getting a little dicey here. Emotions rising. It's high tensions here. It's playoff baseball. Don't go anywhere. We got a nail biter here in Leesburg. Welcome back. Bottom half of the 4th inning. The Snappers picked up their first run. There was an error at first base that allowed Blake Fields to come around and score. And that is where we stand. As for Tanner Walker, we'll give you his final line of the night in just a moment. Leading us off is Riley Fitzgerald. Happel's still out there for the Snappers. For Tanner Walker, he pitched 3 2/3, gave up 2 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Once again, we'll see if that line will change. Riley Fitzgerald, the 1-1 count now. Both teams were warned last inning. It was an exchange between Scout Updike and William Walburn. Didn't really come to any conclusion, though. Couldn't really tell who started it. Well, hopefully we'll let the baseball talk from now on, though, right?
That'd be ideal.
2-1 low and inside to Riley Fitzgerald. His first at bat was a fly out to the third baseman Hudson Gwynn. Similar to how the Snappers limited the Lightning to just 1 run with the bases loaded, nobody out. Lightning with 2 on and 2 down. They gave up just the 1 run. Could have been a whole lot worse, though. 3-1, nowhere near, missed with the breaking ball. We'll see how long his leash is, and it looks like it's pretty short. Terry Abbott coming out there, and it looks like he will make the call to the bullpen. Fitzgerald aboard at first with a leadoff walk. It'll be Ledger Pleasant to come up to the dish, and it looks like Happel's night is done.
Well, for Apple, 3 innings of work, 3 hits given up, 2 earned runs, 3 in total, 4 free passes. That was a number he had to keep low a little bit. Did get 2 strikeouts. Not the best of performance for the recent high school graduate. Those 4 walks really did come back to haunt him. At least 2 of them did.
So I'll tell you about the new pitcher after we take a short break. Still 3-1 Lightning lead, but they're knocking at the door. Runner aboard and nobody out for Ledger Pleasant. Welcome back. Still in the bottom half of the 4th inning. It is Ledger Pleasant now facing off against Christian Borbely.
Well, Borbely 1-1 in Christian this season. 6.13 his ERA, a bit higher than he'd like. 8 games that he's appeared in the mound. Only 1 start. 7 of those he's come out of the bullpen like tonight. 2 saves in just under 15 innings of work, under 20 strikeouts. He's got 19 and 7 walks, 23 hits allowed so far.
And once again for Happel, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, though 3 runs did score, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Not the best night for him, but also could have been a lot worse if he had allowed more runs with the bases loaded, nobody out. He was able to get out of that jam. For Tanner Walker, update that a little bit. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run still, or excuse me, 1 run. No earned runs for him. But that last play was changed. It was a hit and then an error by Grant Jordan at short. 0-1, just got a piece of it is Ledger Pleasant. So hit and then an error for Mario Trivella. Tough play for Grant Jordan to make, and an errant throw allowed the run to score. So in the first game, the Lightning gave the Snappers a run, and same thing happened here. Now Orlando was able to get an RBI double off the bat of William Walburn. That was their lone RBI, but still here tonight, no RBIs for them. Pleasant in an 0-2 hole. Healthy lead at first by Riley Fitzgerald. He stays put, and Pleasant chases and misses that pitch, and he is down on strikes.
Yeah, the offense, like you talked about right now, it's been a minimum for both of these teams in almost, well, just about 1.5 games into this playoff season. I mean, 3 runs today is the most we've had into both games combined.
Reed Snyder, who also struck out in the second inning like Pleasant did, he will bat. So Pleasant now 0 for 2, back-to-back strikeouts for him. Reed Snyder not hoping for the same result. He swings and misses at that first pitch. Last game was the bottom of the order to do the damage. Fitzgerald had a hit. Pleasant had 2 base hits. But tonight, the bottom half of the order has been quiet. It's been Jenkins, Keller, a little bit Irizarry, and James Strom. One ball, 1 strike, 1 down. They'll check over to first. Fitzgerald back in there safely. Grant Jordan on deck. See if Scout Updike gets a second inning. Runner goes. 1-1, popped up. Fitzgerald's got to get back. This one in foul ground. Long run, and Mercado and Pierzynski almost running into the wall. They were at full speed, too. Lot of hustle from those guys.
Love the efforts.
Yeah, seriously. But Snyder lives to see another pitch off of Christian Borbely. See if Fitzgerald goes again or if he stays put. Borbely ready, set at the letters. The 1-2 is fouled, thankfully for the Lightning. So Reed Snyder stays alive. Been a lot of flyouts. Lightning have had a lot, just a couple balls on the ground. Not really many chances for the Snappers' defense. Really infield in general. And this is popped up right on cue. Pierzynski can't see it, but Julian Mercado can. He takes it for out number 2 in foul ground.
Now batting for the Lightning, number 4, Grant Jordan.
Good play by Mercado again. That one's easy to get lost in the lines, but the first baseman, Stetson Commit, had it covered all the way. First that hustle towards his left in foul territory, now charging in front and putting this one away.
8 putouts have been flyouts for the Lightning bats. Good to see them hitting the ball in the air, trying to find more of a barrel. Charlie Keller found that one in the first inning, 2-run home run. We'll appeal down, say he did not go. The only other outs have been strikeouts. There's been no ground ball out. Matthew Farner could have had one, but he made that error, which scored the run. Called strike. Speaking of that error, it was Grant Jordan to come around and score. Sun just about fully set here. It's turned into a beautiful night in Leesburg. 3-1 game. Hasn't been as quick as it should be. A lot of long counts, long at-bats. Runner goes. The pitch is swung on and missed. Throw down is off the glove of the middle infielder, Grant Como. And in there safely is Riley Fitzgerald. But now with a 3-2 count is Grant Jordan. First stolen bag of the night for the Lightning. And for Fitzgerald, that is his 4th stolen bag. He is now 4 for 6. He's in scoring position and represents the 4th run for Leesburg. Payoff pitch. That's low. Ball 4. 2 on, 2 out for Julian Irizarry. Back to the top of the order we go. Grant Jordan has walked twice so far tonight.
You like to see that patience from your bottom half of the order, and just a great job at the play by Jordan. Talked about second walk tonight. This one also huge with 2 away. Not just because he gets on base, but because it lets the top of the lineup come to work with the runner in scoring position as well.
Irizarry also walked back in the 3rd inning. Pierzynski throws back to second. In there safely, though, is Fitzgerald.
You can tell Brzezinski wants to make up for the higher throw earlier. But uncharacteristic from the catcher.
So it's the back-to-back walks and then the bunt single from Ryan Jenkins to load the bases last inning. The Lightning were only able to get the 1 run thanks to the error at short by Matthew Farner, which allowed Grant Jordan to score. Now here a leadoff walk to Fitzgerald, a strikeout and a flyout, and then a walk to Grant Jordan. With a pitching change in between, and Irizarry ahead 2-0 in this count. Here's the delivery. A bouncer out to second. Como has it no problem, and the underhand toss is in time. And the Lightning go down quietly. They strand 2 runners on the base pass, and that'll send us to the 5th inning. Still a 3-1 lead for the Lightning. Scout Updike back out there for Leesburg. He will face Hudson Gwynn, Julian Mercado, and Austin Pierzynski. Came in last inning in place of Tanner Walker and got the strikeout against William Walburn to end the inning, which also stranded a pair on the base pass. Gwynn flew out in the 3rd inning. That was to Charlie Keller in right. First pitch from Scout Updike misses. There's another pitcher at least getting warm up in the bullpen. No throwing just yet. But Scout Updike has an efficient 5th inning here. Wouldn't be surprised if Coach Billings threw him out again. Playoffs is all about playing the hot hand. Every time you open up that bullpen door, another chance for a pitcher to not have it that night.
Yeah, let him go if he's got his stuff, work that pace count up. Like you said, it's playoff time. Honestly, he might not even pitch again for the rest of the season if he goes that high.
2-1 just off the end of the bat.
Of course, the last possible game day would be on Tuesday, and that's if we get rained out on Monday, if we
Right.
even make it to a Game 3 in the championship game.
Right.
So from today, Thursday, to Tuesday, that's not a lot of days for rest.
Nope, not at all. But using Scout Updike more would mean that the other pitchers would be very fresh, and he gets a swinging strikeout of Hudson Gwynn. Back-to-back Ks for Scout Updike, and besides that last game on the 17th against the Snappers, he has been lights out. Take away that game, his totals for the season: 3 appearances, 1 start, 3 total innings pitched, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. But it was that inning and a third against the Snappers back on the 17th. Gave up 3 hits, 4 earned runs, including a double, a hit by pitch, 2 walks. Did have 3 strikeouts, though. So 3 out of his 4 retired were of the strikeout. Has had a strikeout in now all 5 of his appearances. And he gets a strike there to Julian Mercado. Provided the first hit for the Snappers back in the 3rd inning. 0-2. Ground ball. That might stay fair. Scout Updike throws to first, and they got him. Oh, my goodness. What a play. He almost threw it behind him. I thought James Strom was off the bag.
Yeah, that's exactly why you always have to run. No matter how soft you hit the ball, no matter where, you have to sprint.
I thought that Scout Updike was going to try to let it go foul. I think thinking he realized that Mercado's obviously getting down the line pretty quickly, and we might not be able to turn this into an out. But James Strom helped him out a little bit. Funky play. I got to take a look at that again. It helped, though, that Mercado was a little bit slow to get off. But, yeah, James Strom switched from the inside of the bag to the outside of the bag and foul ground. Was able to keep the opposite foot on the bag. Wow. One play where I don't think they get the out, they get the out. And one play I do think they get the out, they don't. Funny how that works. So that is a 1-3 put out. 2-0 count to Pierzynski. It's interesting. The 9 and 10 batters on both sides have struck out in their first at bat. Pierzynski and Irizarry both swinging strikeouts. It's Pleasant and Snyder. So 8 and 9 for the Lightning, 9 and 10 for the Snappers. Scout Updike working from the windup. He delivers a 2-1 pitch, and that is a called strike. Lightning crowd loving what they're seeing from Updike. Deuces wild as we're under the lights, 3-1 ball game. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Scout Updike looking for another 1-2-3 frame. Here it is. Ooh, and that almost hit him. Some sweet chin music as that shaved a couple of hairs off.
That'll back you up the plate a little bit.
We'll see if Scout Updike uses that to his advantage and goes off the plate. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Scout Updike sits down the Snappers. He is fired up as he walks back to the dugout. Another 1-2-3 frame. Make that 3 1-2-3 innings for the Lightning, and now 3 strikeouts for Scout Updike. That'll send us to the bottom half of the inning. Still a 3-1 lead for Leesburg. Bottom of the 5th inning. Great job by Scout Updike. Another 1-2-3 frame. Ryan Jenkins leads things off. It's still Christian Borbely on the hill. First pitch called strike to Ryan Jenkins. He's reached base safely twice. Back in the first, a walk, and then came home on that 2-run homer from Charlie Keller, and a base hit back in the 3rd inning. Breaking ball stays inside. One nice breaking ball falls over the heart of the plate. Looks like it's James Hill warming up in the bullpen for the Lightning. So we'll see if Scout Updike gets another opportunity. If I'm Coach Billings, I would really want to ride the hot hand. And obviously Scout Updike has got a lot of energy behind him. You want to be able to utilize that as much as possible, wouldn't you think, Esteban?
That's absolutely right. Got to take advantage of it, especially in playoff atmosphere.
2-2 is a called strike 3. Borbely gets the strikeout, and 1 out here in the 5th.
Yeah, Borbely's looking sharp so far. Not a full inning of work yet, but 1 inning in. After this out, gets the full one, and so far in this inning, 1 for 1.
Charlie Keller now the batter. Waits on that breaking ball and fouls it out of play. 2-run shot in the 1st inning, and then a fly out in the 3rd. Another close game here against these 2 ball clubs. Happel struggling a little bit with command, but still was able to limit the damage. He finished just giving up 2 earned runs. Went downstairs to Charlie Keller. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, it's interesting first game between these 2 teams in the playoffs. A couple days ago, no errors for either side. Meanwhile, today, 1-1 on the miscue column. And defense is huge, not just in the regular season, but primarily in the postseason because of what's at stake. We just haven't seen a clean ball game from both of these teams. A couple miscues here and there, and look at the scoreboard. It's not rattled up. It's only 3-1, but compared to a 2-1 game last time out, shows a little bit of difference.
Right. Jenkins did have the 1 error back in the 1st game. And Charlie Keller ropes this one into the right center gap. That's going to get down and head all the way to the wall. Keller digging for 2. He's going to hold up there. It's a stand-up double, and have yourself a night, Charlie Keller. Boy, oh boy, is he really finding the barrel tonight, and not just tonight, but all season long. That is now his 11th extra base hit, his 7th double, and make that his 10th 2-hit night this season, his 11th multi-hit game of the season. Wow.
Well, after going 0 for 4 in the first game, he's figured some things out. A home run and a double here today. He's having some fun, and so is this Leesburg crowd.
His 0 for 4 night was, in large part, one of the reasons why the bats just never got hot. The Lightning rely on him for a lot of their offensive success. Came into this game with 18 RBIs, now up to 20 after that 2-run homer. And his slugging percentage going to be even closer to 500 after the home run and the double. James Strom digs in. 1 for 2, a single in the 1st and a fly out in the 3rd. He hits this one into left field, playable for Walburn, and he makes the grab just over his head for out number 2.
Yeah, Walburn took some time to get to that ball. He kind of waited off the bat to see where it was going to land, had to go to his front a little bit, charge it, but he's got no problem putting it in his glove.
Cole Bullen now bats with 2 down. Lightning have struggled to keep the line moving. Remember, had the bases loaded, Keller and Strom would both fly out, and then Cole Bullen should have been out, but then it was an error at short. So it was a gift run. So both of the errors from both sides have resulted in a run coming around to score, and the same thing happened for the Lightning in the last game. That one error by Jenkins allowed a run to score. So all 3 errors in this series have resulted in runs coming around to score for the opposing team. But that's playoff baseball for you. Those little miscues can mean the difference maker. Tapper out to the pitcher, Borbely. He fields, and the low throw is just in time to get Cole Bolin out. So the 1-out double goes to waste. The Lightning go down quietly besides that 2-bagger from Charlie Keller, and it sends us to the top of the 6th inning, still 3-1 lead for the Lightning. Into the 6th inning we go. Scout Updike is out, and he gives way to James Hill, also an inflated ERA. An ERA just over 10 in his 3 appearances. 0-1, has pitched just 3 1/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 4 earned. 3 walks, 3 strikeouts for him. And he will face Daniel Irizarry to lead things off. First pitch he throws is way outside for ball 1. James Hill out of USF, 6'2", 215. Last time out was back on July 19th. He struggled. Ground ball here out to Reed Snyder. First ground ball for the infield, and they get the first out of this inning. Excuse me, that was the Snappers on the other end who haven't really gotten a ground ball off the Lightning bats.
Next up, number 39.
But it was the first opportunity for Reed Snyder, and he passed. 5-3 put out, sends us back to the top of the order. Back to James Hill. 2 innings pitched on the 19th. Gave up 3 hits, 1 earned run, though 2 runs did come across. Gave up a double, 2 strikeouts. His first time out, pitched an inning, a third, gave up 2 earned runs, no hits, but 3 walks. So hasn't really found his footing yet. He's given up an earned run or more in each of his first 3 and only outings for the Lightning. 1 just misses to Farner. Farner's 0 for 2. He was 1 for 3 in the first game. Well, the key to success for the Lightning is, one, shutting down that man at the plate. One of the best hitters for the Florida League. Go ahead and give you the final line on Scout Updike. An inning and a third, no hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. That's a clean bill. Hill ahead, 1-2, popped up. Shallow center field, Grant Jordan drifting out. It will be the shortstop to make the grab for out number 2. 2 quick outs from James Hill.
Well, a ground ball to third, a pop-up towards the middle. 2 up, 2 down. Hill's been successful.
He'll have to face Blake Fields, who had a double back in the 4th inning. He scored the lone run for the Snappers. Came in after the error on the throw by Grant Jordan. Nice breaker from James Hill. Starts him with a strike. 0-1, big swing and a miss. That breaking ball, devastating. Blake Fields missed every stitch of it. Righty looks in, wastes no time, delivers an 0-2, and he yanks that pitch. Glove side, way off the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, still 2 down. Scout Updike provided a 1-2-3 5th inning. That was his lone full inning pitched. Struck out William Walburn to end the 4th. Hill brings around a 1-2. That one's in the dirt.
So easy to be overly aggressive at the plate when you're down. No balls, 2 strikes, but Blake Fields and 2 bad pitches. He's done a good job to hold up.
Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. James Hill delivers. That one's upstairs. Great job from Blake Fields. Fights all the way back. Forces a full count pitch.
Hill was trying to get him out with a couple pitches down in the strike zone. Couldn't do so. Decided to go up with the fastball. Fields very patient.
3-2, spoiled foul. Again, Snappers putting up a good fight. I think they keep doing this, they'll eventually break through. Got to hand it to the Lightning pitching staff. They have really done a good job despite having to throw more pitches. They've been able to get the outs. 3-2. Floated into center field, coming on Thurman, and that one drops in front of him. Well-earned base hit from Blake Fields. It's a 2-out knock, and it prolongs the inning and allows Grant Como to have a chance to hit.
That's example number 3 right there as to why Blake Fields got drafted. That's a major league at bat.
Yeah.
0-2 in the count, worked it on the way full, 3-2, blooped one into center field, right in front of Thurman, and the inning lives on. Blake Fields is just a powerhouse.
I completely agree with you. Not the best swing at all, but Hill not really giving him that many good pitches to swing on. He's able to fight it off and get it into center field. Actually a pretty good pitch, and Blake Fields just not trying to do too much with it. First pitch to Como, grounded foul down the 3rd baseline. Snappers bullpen empty. Lightning do have a righty, it looks like, getting loose. Oh, 1 fouled away again. It did look like Brian Bertoft in the bullpen. They're talking amongst themselves up here in the booth. I saw that same kind of 3/4 motion. Bertoft has started in his last 2 outings, so that would be interesting if he comes on. He'll head 0-2, the pitch in the dirt. He'll try again. Bertoft last pitched on Saturday here in Leesburg. Pitched just an inning, though. That was an all bullpen game. We saw 9 pitchers. One, 2, check swing. They say he went around, and it will be a strikeout. I believe they pointed to him. I have no idea what's going on. Now rounding third is Blake Fields. It won't matter. Home plate umpire Matthew Schaefer was being almost completely silent. He pointed at the batter, which signaled that he went around. So it will be a strikeout to Grant Como. Wacky play, huh?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't have much to say either. So we'll head into the bottom half of the 6th inning. James Hill was able to work around the 2-out single from Blake Fields. Still a 3-1 lead for Leesburg. Bottom of the 6th inning, Christian Borbely still out there, and it's still Esteban Velez and Vic Masley here with you. We haven't gone very far. 3-1 is the score. Eli Thurman will lead us off here in the bottom half of the 6th, followed by Fitzgerald and Ledger Pleasant.
Now batting for the Lightning will be number 5, Eli Thurman.
First pitch misses from Borbely. Good job by James Hill. Got 2 quick outs, then gave up the 2-out single to Blake Fields, but was able to strike out Grant Como. Big, healthy cut from Thurman, came up empty. Still wondering what was going on that last strikeout.
See, Como I don't think he knew if he was called out or not. Or if he did, he just decided not to run and kind of play some mind games.
But it was almost like the home plate umpire was just silent and didn't say anything. He pointed at Como, which is usually the signal to say he win. But it was like Bolin was standing there being like, what's going on? And home plate umpire was just not saying anything. I don't know.
I wonder if the home plate umpire knew what was going on.
1-1, floated into center field, could get down, coming on Blake Fields. We'll have to play it on a hop. Leadoff single for Eli Thurman, first hit of the night.
Great job by Eli Thurman, just being a leadoff hitter, something he's been very familiar with this season. Not doing too much, just poking down in the center, and he gets the job done.
Eli Thurman is 15 for 33 when leading off. That's a .455 average. Leading off an inning or leading off the game, whatever it is. Now, Thurman does have 17 walks, so he's led off with a bunch of walks as well. That's why it's just the 33 at-bats. Ground ball towards second. They'll just have one play, and it'll be at first. Fitzgerald is retired. Eli Thurman was running on the pitch. He is at second base. So that worked out in terms of advancing him. Fitzgerald does his job.
Next up, number 12, Ledger Pleasant.
Keller is 11 for 30 when leading off an inning. Remember, he has played in all 33 games and obviously finds himself leading off an inning quite a bunch. He's hitting .367. First pitch to Ledger Pleasant, swung on and missed. He struck out in back-to-back at-bats. In total, the Lightning have struck out just 4 times tonight. They do such a good job of limiting the strikeouts. Floated into right field. Daniel Irizarry comes in, and he makes the belt tie grab for out number 2. Suddenly 2 down for Reed Snyder, still a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, I like the strong throw to the second as well. Thurman casually jogging back. Of course, he did a great job to get there first, but you don't expect a right fielder of Irizarry to throw a cannon to second base in that sort of play. He took nothing for granted.
Snyder 10 for 37 with runners in scoring position. One of just 4 Lightning batters that has double-digit hits with runners in scoring position. And he hits this one well into left field. Coming on and not able to make the catch is William Walburn. Eli Thurman scores easily into second base with his first extra base hit is Reed Snyder, and it comes in the biggest of moments. 4-1's the score.
Absolute perfection in left field. That one hit beautifully by Pleasant. He's got himself an RBI double. And Walburn going completely into the ground, outstretched glove, got a piece of it. Couldn't corral in his glove and make that a 4-1 Leesburg lead.
So Reed Snyder with the RBI double, and the Lightning extend their lead. 4-1 is the score. Eli Thurman was the runner to score. Grant Jordan now the batter. Snyder trades places with Thurman. And I said that was his first extra base hit, and a guy with his size and stature, you would think that he'd be able to find more barrels this season, but that has been, I would say, the only blemish of his really good season. Came into this game hitting .269. A good bit of base hits, 15 runs scored. Had just the 8 RBIs before that 9th. But a very consistent bat in the order for Coach Billings. Just hadn't really found that extra base hit power. And he gave that one a ride. William Walburn almost making another fantastic grab. I think I would have quit if he made that catch, seriously. I thought he had no chance of catching it and actually, I think, glanced off his glove, which is ridiculous. I still can't believe what I'm seeing. 1 ball, 2 strikes, still 2 down, but the Lightning not done yet. Grant Jordan ready, and he fouls that one out of play. Jordan's reached base safely in both of his plate appearances. Both of them have been walks. Was the 3rd run to score for the Lightning. 1-2 on the way. That misses. The throw down to second. It looks like it hit Snyder. He was drifting way too far off the bag, it seemed. Better throw would have been a bang-bang play. But remember, it is a long one, so despite Reed Snyder looking like he got too far off the bag, you can definitely get back. Deuces wild again, this time the batter Grant Jordan. 2-2, just misses. Count runs full. Oh, it sure is weird. Pierzynski looks exactly like his dad. Just saw that on the cam. Base hit into right field. Tanner Clark going to send Reed Snyder. Here comes the throw. The play at the plate. He is out of there. Oh, man, Reed Snyder thrown out at home. Thought he might have a chance with Pierzynski having to field the ball all the way closer to the right, or to first base, but he was able to come back and tag Reed Snyder out. So the Lightning trying to push the envelope, but Snyder's thrown out at home. They do pick up the 1 run off of the RBI double from Reed Snyder. That makes it a 4-1 ball game as we head into the 7th inning here in Leesburg. Top of the 7th inning, time running out for the Snappers. Hayden Gustafson leads them off here in the 7th inning. James Hill still the pitcher on the mound for Leesburg. Reed Snyder was thrown out at home plate. A little bit too aggressive of a send from Tanner Clark. I know that a lot of times as a third base coach, you're trying to take your chances, be aggressive, push the envelope, and make the other team make a great play, but it wasn't the best throw from Daniel Irizarry. Pierzynski had to bail him out, and he almost didn't make the play, so that's even more to the fact that it was probably not the best send from Tanner Clark, but still love the aggression, and that's going to happen sometimes. You don't get guys thrown out at home, you're not doing your job, Esteban. Bouncer up the middle, Grant Jordan fields it. The throw to first is in time. Grant Jordan makes up for his error back in the 4th inning. Provides a nice throw to Strom, and they're able to get Gustafson.
It's always nice when you have a 6'3" frame at first base. Strom using all of his size to keep that one in his glove and keep that foot on the bag.
That'll bring up Mario Travella. Had a single back in the 4th inning. Or excuse me, yes, it was a single. And then it was the error by Grant Jordan to allow the run to score. Oh, 1 from Hill. That's a called strike as well. Snappers bullpen quiet. So is the Lightning's. In the dirt. That gets away. No one on. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. James Hill trying to give another clean inning for the Lightning. He gets a pop-up and foul ground. Cole Bolin racing over. He's going to call off James Strom, and he makes the grab. 2 down.
It's a lot of foul territory, and Bolin
Yeah.
utilizing that to his advantage.
Yeah. That'll get you for sure here in Leesburg. Ton of foul ground.
GFA, that would have been probably out of the entire ballpark.
Yeah, definitely. It's like the opposite over there. So the batter now, William Walburn. He's 0 for 2. Last time struck out against Updike. That's where things got a little bit chippy. And he pops this one up. First pitch, shallow center. Grant Jordan will haul that baby in for out number 2. A couple putouts by Jordan, the shortstop. And we head into the stretch. Nothing doing for the Snappers. We will see in the bottom half of the 7th inning, the Lightning looking to add on to their 4-1 lead. Bottom of the 7th inning, Julian Irizarry will lead off the Lightning. Borbely still out there. Might as well play the hot hand. Borbely did surrender a run last inning. It was the RBI double from Reed Snyder. Looks like Coach Abbott trying trying to save as many pitchers as he can. They've only given up 4 runs. Half of them came in the first inning. So the bullpen has really only given up just the 1, and it was Borbely just last inning. Remember, 3 earned runs. One of them was unearned. Irizarry, base hit into right field. Another leadoff man to reach. Had one last inning, had one in the 4th, in the 3rd, and that's it.
Next up for the Lightning, number 1.
That's a great way to start an inning for Julian.
That's his first base hit of the night. Reach base in the 3rd off a walk. Ryan Jenkins now at the dish. He is 1 for 2. A walk and a run scored in the 1st. Base hit in the 3rd and a strikeout. He's first pitch swinging, and he hits a base hit. This time to his pull side into left field. Back-to-back singles for the Lightning, and they've got something brewing here. 2 on, nobody out for, you guessed it, Charlie Keller, coming off of a 1-out double in the 5th inning. Lightning were unable to score him, though.
Well, Leesburg going with a more aggressive approach in this inning, and so far 2 batters in, it's worked out. Talked about Terry Abbott wanting to stay pitching. Well, that's no longer the case. He's going to his bullpen for the 2nd time tonight.
Well, at a certain point, you have got to realize the implications here. It's playoff baseball, and you need to switch out your pitcher once they get into trouble here, especially with 2 on, nobody out for the best hitter on the Lightning squad. So Borbely is out. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher after this break. Welcome back. The new pitcher for the Snappers, it's going to be Tyler Garcia. He comes into a big jam. 2 on, nobody out. The batter is Charlie Keller. I'll tell you more about Garcia. It's Esteban.
Well, Garcia, he goes to Lake Sumter, so he knows Rich Billings pretty well. He's 2-1 this season, 2 wins, 1 losses this summer. ERA just over 6 at 6.13, 14 innings of work, 11 strikeouts, 14 walks. He's averaging 1 an inning, 10 hits given up.
Well, this is not a good team to run into if you're struggling with the free pass. Lightning are so disciplined at the plate, and they will take advantage of a walk, and they will make you pay. But, of course, Charlie Keller, not the type of guy, at least for tonight, to want to be drawing a walk. He wants extra bases. He already has a double and a home run tonight, looking to add on to his really good night at the dish with this at-bat here against Tyler Garcia, who has struggled. Close the line on Borbely, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 earned run. Excuse me, we can't close the line on him yet. Runners go, first pitch, and it's a double steal, a successful one. So going back to Borbely, will not close the line on him just yet. The 2 runners on the base pass are his responsibility. Thank you, Esteban, for letting me know. So that'll draw the infield in. Want to protect any run they can from scoring. Double steal, we've seen that a couple times this season, but that was huge. Irizarry, Jenkins, both some of the speediest guys on the team. Not a bad decision at all to get them in motion.
Well, especially with it being that first pitch. No one's expecting that.
Yeah, exactly. I think I did see almost an offensive meeting when Tyler Garcia was warming up, so that was probably the topic of conversation. It was a double steal first pitch. Now Garcia falling behind 3-0.
Well, now the good thing for Garcia, if you walk this hitter, it sets up at least a double play so you don't feel as bad internally.
Right. Would set up a force out. 3-0. That's nowhere near. It's a 4-pitch walk.
See, now he can tell himself he did that on purpose to set up the force out, double play, whatever, maybe even triple play. That's what he's going for. It's all strategy here, Vic.
Well, yeah, I was about to say maybe he actually did. Maybe that's what they were saying. Hey, this is a really good bat. It's a lefty-righty with Charlie Keller at the advantage. Don't want to let him beat us again. He's already had a double and a home run. Maybe put him on. But you could see pitching coach coming out here now for the snappers. So I guess it wasn't the game plan going into it to walk Keller.
Yeah, with David Burry coming out, that's the only reason I can think that it wasn't the game plan, because if not, he would have, stayed still in the dugout.
Right, yeah.
Going according to plan, but that's not the case.
Thought it might have been an intentional walk. But not really out of the woods yet. James Strom, another great bat for the Lightning. He is 1 for 3, a single back in the first. He's flown out back-to-back times. So the base is full of Lightning. 3 ducks on the pond. Had the same situation back in the 3rd inning. They were able to just pick up the 1 run thanks to an error from Matthew Farner. I want to see the Lightning score runs on their own accord here with the bases loaded, though. Such a good opportunity. James Strom, so far this year with the bases loaded, he's 0 for 3. I mentioned that before because he was the batter at the plate, one of the 2 batters at the plate, or 3, I should say, with the bases loaded. Him, Keller, and Bolin. 1-0's a called strike.
5 pitches in and you get your first strike. That one's always hard to get sometimes, that first one, but so many pitchers, not saying it's going to be Garcia's case. Once you get that first one, you settle in a little bit more.
1-1 to Strom. Off the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Or maybe not.
Well, I said it right after you said it, that he struggles with the free passes. This is not a good team to do that against. They'll make you pay. They've got such a disciplined eye. Most walks in the Florida League this season. And James Strom swung at ball 3. Almost looked like a changeup tailing away. Something sinking down and away for him. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Middle infield looking to turn 2. They'll trade a couple outs for a run. Just gets a piece of it, stays alive.
Garcia, not the most overpowering stuff. His velocity is in the mid-80s. He likes to go to a couple different pitches and just locate. Three earned runs last time against Sanford, July 15th.
2-2 on the way. That's in the dirt. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another full count pitch to come.
And when he can't locate, it's not looking too good because, again, that velocity isn't there for him. He has to rely on painting the corners, mixing in those pitches. Fastball, curve, change. Use his arsenal.
3-2 offering. Grounded foul. Garcia with the red shirt in his first year at Lake Sumter. With a couple years of eligibility left for Tyler Garcia now, that's one of the reasons why he can't play on the Lightning for Coach Billings. Billings cannot coach one of his current players. 3-2. And a pop-up into shallow left field. Farner drifts out, and it's going to be the shortstop to take it for out number 1.
Seen a lot of pop-ups tonight.
A ton by the Lightning. They've had just 2 ground ball outs, or 3 ground ball outs off their bats.
Now, Garcia, you aced test number 1. Maybe number 2 consider after the free pass. Now you got 2 more. That's the hard part. It's the middle of the lineup.
11 fly ball outs for the Lightning bats. Cole Bull in the batter now. Takes first pitch strike from Garcia.
If you're Leesburg, this is right where you want to be. You got Bolin, Thurman, Fitzgerald. Huge opportunity for Lightning to break this score open.
Oh, 1 soft blooper into center field. Blake Field's coming on. He lays out and makes the grab. And he throws to second, and they double up Ryan Jenkins. Oh, my goodness. The Snappers get out of it. The Lightning strand all 3 on the base pass. They come up empty. Tyler Garcia gets the Snappers 3 outs.
He got drafted, didn't he?
He did.
It's a great example right there. Example number 4. What a double play by the center fielder of Blake Fields. What a night he's been having offensively, and now with the glove for the second time today.
An unbelievable talent Blake Fields is. A well-deserved draft pick, and regardless of what round it is. So that will send us to the 8th inning. Nothing doing for the Lightning. It's still a 4-1 lead with James Hill back onto the mound. Top of the 8th inning, and the Snappers get out of another huge jam. They're still down 3 runs, but the Lightning struggles continue with runners on the base pass, especially with the bases loaded. Coming into this game, they were hitting .259 with the bases juiced, which, to be honest, is not that good. With the bases loaded, you've got to be hitting .270 or above, closer to .300. You have such a good chance with the bases loaded, and they're just unable to get it done. Now, .259, I'm actually a little surprised. That's higher than what I thought, seemingly as of late. Now, the Lightning do maybe pick up a run or 2, but it seems like they'll have the bases loaded, 1 out, nobody out, and they'll just be able to scratch across 1 run. Popped up into foul ground. Cole Bullen throws his mask out of play. He's got room, but he can't make the grab. That's such a tough play for a catcher to make.
You say you thought it'd be lower?
I thought it would be lower.
After today, it will definitely be lower.
Yeah. Because that first time with the bases loaded back in the 6th inning, or excuse me, no. That was back in the 3rd inning. The Lightning did score, but it was an error, so that won't raise the average at all. But I was saying I'd like to see a stat showing how much we could have scored with the bases loaded, which would obviously be 3, to how much the Lightning have actually scored. 1-1 is inside.
Would it be 3 or 4?
I guess 4 would be the most. You're right. Yeah, 4.
But then that's a harsh stat because you can't rely on the grand slam every time.
Right. I understand that. But, if it's, let's say 50 total possible runs, and the Lightning have only gotten 10, that's not good. Obviously, that's a tough side. I don't even think that could be pulled as a stat. It'd be so tough. But, having been to every game for the Lightning this summer, it's been 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And, we'll score 1 run or maybe no runs. 2-2, grounded foul. And that's just not a recipe for success going into the playoffs. Right now, the Lightning clinging to that 2-run shot by Charlie Keller. The error by Matthew Farner that allowed a run to come around and score. And then an RBI double from Reed Snyder. So it's really been 2 big hits for Leesburg. Two count to Hudson Gwynn. He's 0 for 2, a fly out and a strikeout. The pitch, and he just got a piece of it, stays alive.
So many lengthy at-bats for Orlando hitters tonight. They've just continued to fight their way in the batter's box.
Well, the other series already wrapped up. Sanford River Rats punched their ticket to the Florida League Championship that will start on Saturday. Still awaiting the outcome of this series. 2-2, swung on and missed. James Hill goes upstairs. Hudson Gwynn couldn't lay off the high cheese. 1 down. Second strikeout for Hill.
Next up, number 11, Julian Mercado.
Just 5 outs to work with for the Snappers. Mercado rockets this one into right field. That'll lay down for a base hit. 2-hit night for him. And it's interesting, Scout Updike, an inning and a third. No hits, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. James Hill also pitching very well, Esteban, don't get me wrong, but he surrendered a hit, but he gets another inning. So it's just interesting how that works out, and I just wonder from Coach Billings, like, why Updike doesn't get another inning and Hill does. I mean, they're both pitching fantastic. Only 1 hit separates them. But to me, it looked like Updike had a little bit more control. Had 3 strikeouts to Hill's 2, but remember, Hill has an extra inning pitch. It seemed like he was a little bit more locked in, amped up.
Well, they both did, like you mentioned, a really good job. You look at all the zeros in the scoreboard after that 4th inning, 5th, 6th, 7th, now even into the 8th. It's not complete yet, but all of zeros. So it's been a lot of good command, not really too many free passes. But again, Rich Billings, a guy that really, he's been around the league for a long time. He's been coaching. He's been doing this for so many years. There's something that he must have seen to give, one pitcher one more inning over the other.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear what the reasoning with that is.
Here's a wild one. Just a wild thought. Maybe Hill can't make it to the championship game. Maybe this is his last game with Leesburg.
I feel like I would have known that. I know a lot of things, Esteban. I'm very aware.
I bet you are.
I don't know. They usually don't tell me anything. I got to find out on my own. No, I'm kidding.
I remember for Orlando, we had a starter. It was his last game for us. He came out of the bullpen, and everyone was wondering, why is he not starting? Why is he coming out of the bullpen? Why is he even pitching? It's a 10-2 lead, for example. Turns out that was his last day with us.
Huh. Well, that's a good reason. 1-2, misses, up and away. Speaking of someone that shouldn't be coming out in the bullpen, or not shouldn't be, but usually doesn't come out of the bullpen, Brian Bertoft is actually tossing again. Remember, his last 2 appearances have been starts. So we'll see if he's another bullet that Coach Billings will use. Hopefully it won't have to be in this inning, and James Hill can figure things out. Got a 2-2 count on to Austin Pierzynski. He's 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts on his line. Walker and Updike both got him to swing and miss, and James Hill looking for the same result. I'd say a ground ball is the thing that's more on his mind right now. 2-2 off the plate. Good take by Pierzynski. Still a good crowd here at Pat Thomas Stadium. Thinned out a little bit because we're getting a little bit late out, but still a good bit of fans here to support the Lightning. Hill comes set right above the belt. Kicks and fires, and that ball is upstairs. It's a walk to Austin Pierzynski. Back-to-back batters to reach base, and Rich Billings is going to come out. We'll see if he's going to talk to his righty or if he's going to go deeper into the bullpen and potentially put in Brian Bertoft. He will. He makes the call to the bullpen. We told you it's Bertoft. We're expecting him to come on, but we will confirm that, and we'll tell you all about the new pitcher after this break. Snappers threatening, 1 down, 2 aboard. Welcome back. Still in top half of the 8th. The Snappers threatening, 2 on, 1 down. It is Brian Bertoft to come on, and he has been the hottest arm for the Lightning. 2.89 ERA. His ERA was inflated before his really good start back on July 11th, but now has gotten it all the way down, sub-3. 4-0, only pitcher with 4 wins for the Lightning. 9 appearances, 2 of them have been starts. 18 2/3 innings pitched, giving up 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 5 walks, has 18 strikeouts. He will have to face Daniel Irizarry first before the top of the order. First pitch called strike. Now Bertoft is no stranger to coming out of the bullpen. Before his last 2 starts, which were the last 2 outings, the 11th and 19th, all of his other appearances came out of the bullpen. That one's off the plate. But after some starting pitchers left for Leesburg, and after others really struggled in that role, Bertoft got a chance to start and was the first pitcher to go 5 innings, and it was a shutout. 5-inning shutout, just gave up 2 hits and the 1 walk, and he gets a swing and a miss from Irizarry. Also had 5 strikeouts, 1 in each inning back on the 11th, and started on the 19th against the Snappers, but just pitched 1 inning. Did hit a batter, but then only needed 8 total pitches to get out of the first inning. Would induce weak contact. 1-2, that's hit to left field. That's going to be trouble. It's going to land for a base hit. And Irizarry will throw into the infield. It's cut off by Reed Snyder, but the bases are loaded, full of Snappers. Still just 1 down.
That's exactly what you needed if you're Orlando. Get Irizarry on base, load them up, and let the top of your lineup do some damage. Matthew Farner knows a thing or two.
Now Bertoft, remember, not blow you away with his velocity. So Irizarry and the rest of the Snappers have to slow their bat speed down, and that's exactly what he did. It was the curveball from Bertoft. Not a bad pitch at all. Esteban, that was a little bit low and away, and Irizarry was able to drop the bat head and hit a barrel into left field, although not hard hit. Still able to find some green grass. Matthew Farner digs in. Bases loaded, 1 down. First pitch is a called strike. Bertoft's got that sweeping slider, the breaking ball, and obviously that fastball. But nothing is straight by any means. Even that fastball has a good bit of tail to it. Farner in an 0-2 hole. Was See what pitch Bertoldt goes to. That curveball, a lot more vertical movement, and the sweeper, of course, more horizontal. 0-2. That one's fouled out of play. It looked like a two-seamer. Leesburg faithful trying to get behind Brian Bertoldt here as he's in a big jam. No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch to Farner. Fouls it away again. Just scares you. The more pitches he sees, the more on time he could get with all of these pitches from Bertoldt. 0-2 and misses with the breaking ball again. Almost looks like he's falling off the plate.
That's a tough pitch to lay off, too. You get used to swinging, you get used to protecting, and then you get that off-speed pitch down in the dirt. So hard to not swing and not continue to protect that plate.
There's another arm warming up in the bullpen. Bertoldt struggles. 1-2. Cold strike 3. He got him. A big strikeout. Farner frustrated as he heads back to the dugout. Wow, was that big. 2 down. So Blake Fields, the final hope for the Snappers. This is definitely the guy that you want up at the plate. 2-hit night already for him, including a double. Great stop by Cole Bullen.
It's a good frame.
Yeah. It looked like just the fastball on the outside part of the plate. Because Farner was expecting the off-speed pitch. And I think that he was more frustrated himself. I don't think it was the call. I think that he was frustrated that he didn't swing at it. That's what I got from that reaction from him. Didn't seem like he had anything to say to the home plate umpire. Could be wrong, but it looked like a pretty good pitch to me. Bertoldt now behind. 2-0 the count. Bertoldt delivers. That is a slider for a strike. Well, the Lightning trying to take a page out of the Snappers' book here and strand these 3 runners. Two-one offering. Oof, just misses, and a big groan from the Lightning fans.
Yeah, Blake also wanted to swing at that one, held back just in time. Looked like it might have had some last-minute dip, unless it was a fastball straight up.
I think it was low. Hitters count for Blake Fields. Nowhere to put him. 3-1. Ground ball out to second base. Jenkins, Fields, throws. They got him. And Brian Bertoldt does his job. He comes in, gives up a single, loads the bases, gets a strikeout and a ground out, and leaves 3 stranded for the Snappers. 4-1's the score. So we head into the bottom half of the 8th inning. Last chance for the Lightning to add on before they go into the 9th inning. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got a barn burner here in Leesburg. Bottom of the 8th inning. Last chance for the Lightning to add any more insurance before they head to the 9th inning. Tyler Garcia is still the pitcher on the mound. Eli Thurman will lead us off, but boy, oh boy, what a great job from Brian Berthoff. Shook off that base hit from Irizarry, was able to get the strikeout of some of the two best hitters, and not just the Snappers, but the entire league, and Matthew Farner and Blake Fields. A strikeout to Farner and a ground out from Blake Fields, and that's where we stand. Ooh, over the head of Eli Thurman. Garcia came into a tricky situation. Bases loaded, nobody out. Got a fly out from James Strom, and then Cole Bullen flew out to center field. Blake Fields was able to double up Ryan Jenkins. The Lightning could not come out of that inning with a run similar to the Snappers. Looks like it looks like it's the field umpire or home plate umpire that's having a word with Tyler Garcia. That meeting will break up. It'll be a 2-1 count onto Eli Thurman. Saw Blake Titmore head out to the bullpen between the inning. So we'll see if he starts warming up and if he'll be used in the 9th. 2-1 inside, almost hit him. Hitters count pitch, that's off the plate. 5-pitch walk to Eli Thurman. I think he's looking at Tyler Garcia, wanting him to look over there. Those two friends from Lake Sumter this past spring, I'm sure.
Next up for the Lightning is number 2, Riley Fitzgerald.
Riley Fitzgerald now the batter. Also played at Lake Sumter this past spring, so he knows Tyler Garcia.
You weren't kidding when you said the Lightning are really good when leading off an inning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That has not been a struggle whatsoever. There goes Thurman. Pitches off the plate. The throw. Ooh, man, that's in time. They got him. What a throw from Pierzynski. And Thurman's very speedy, but he was out by a good bit. A bullet by Pierzynski and a nice tag applied by the shortstop.
What a throw.
Yeah, that was a rocket. Well, he might be struggling in terms of the regular season at the dish, not as of late, but he is a really good defensive catcher, and Fitzgerald gets this one down in between Blake Fields and William Walburn. That's a base hit. Oh, man, what could have been? Could have been an RBI single for Fitzgerald if Thurman was in there safely. Can't really fault Thurman much, though. It was almost a pitch out. A really good pitch to throw down for Austin Pierzynski.
Well, Thurman would have had a better opportunity to get it caught in a rundown.
Yeah, almost. You're right.
Oh, for a defensive miscue on one of those throws.
Ledger Pleasant now grabs a piece of lumber. He's 0 for 3. He's due for a base hit. Good lead for Fitzgerald, and Pleasant swings right through that one. He has struggled tonight. Strikeout back in the second, fly out on the 4th. Or excuse me, back-to-back strikeouts in the 2nd and 4th, and then a line out in the 6th. He lines that one foul.
Yeah, not a pleasant night for him.
I knew that was coming. You're the king of that. Most polished.
I had to look up what that meant.
Polished? Huh. I think that's perfectly sums you up, Esteban. Very polished. You just don't make a lot of mistakes, if at all.
That's pretty high praise. I don't know if I agree with that, but it's pretty high praise.
I think you know, I always say less is more when doing play-by-play, and you just embody that. You don't over-explain, you're perfect. 0-2. That one's off the plate.
Every time I thought about polish, I thought about nails, like polished nails.
Gosh.
It reminded me of my mom.
We might need to take that award back. You don't even know what the
Honestly,
word means.
I don't disagree.
1-2 count to Ledger Pleasant. Ooh, and that almost hit him. I don't know how he avoided it. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down. Fitzgerald still aboard at first. After Pleasant will be Snyder, and then Grant Jordan if we get that far. Two and two on the way. That one's in the dirt. Good stop by Pierzynski. Count runs full now.
For Garcia, he struggled a little bit in less than 2 full innings of work. It hasn't really shown because of the great defense he's had behind him. But he already has a free pass given up, a couple hits surrendered as well. And that pitch count is going up for a reliever.
Yeah, just threw his 26th pitch. So he officially cannot throw if there is a game tomorrow. Three-two, runner goes, doesn't matter, ball 4. Another walk issued by Tyler Garcia. Now Reed Snyder will bat, 2 on, 1 down. Snyder, an RBI double back in the 6th inning that scored Eli Thurman. First extra base hit of the season for him. See if he can find another gap. First pitch misses just barely.
There's no action on the bullpen for Orlando. They're just taking where Garcia, it seems like.
1-0 swung on and missed. Snap throw back to first, but in there safely is Ledger Pleasant. I don't get it. I understand that, you know, you obviously have to start thinking a little bit about a potential game tomorrow, but you obviously have to focus on the game at hand. It's just still a 3-run lead. Keeping Garcia out there might mean that that lead extends if the Lightning can string together a couple of hits. But also don't want to do yourself in for a potential game tomorrow. 1-1, high tapper out to short. Farner goes to 1. He takes Mercado off the bag, but he keeps his foot on there and gets the out. That was really close. It does move both runners over. The only play was to first, and Farner able to just barely make it.
How far can you stretch, Julian? That is incredible.
I for sure thought he came off the bag.
Look at the upcoming freshie making a play. He's been doing that all season long. What a player. What a defensive guy.
So Matthew Farner avoids another potential error. First pitch to Grant Jordan's in there for a strike. Reed Snyder obviously frustrated after that last one. He almost got a hit. Maybe would have been an error. 2 in scoring position, but there are 2 outs. 0-1. What a tremendous stop by Pierzynski.
Dad would be proud.
Just such great instincts. Now, Grant Jordan is 3 for 4 with a runner on third and 2 out. 2 out in general. Pops this one up into center field. Fields broke back, now coming in, but it will be Grant Como to drift out and make the grab. So the Lightning strand a pair again on the base pass, and we will head into the 9th inning. The Snappers need 3 runs to tie and 4 to take the lead. We'll be back after this. Top of the ninth. 3 outs left for the Snappers. On the hill for the Lightning is Blake Tipmore, also one of the best pitchers for the Lightning this season. Him and Brian Bertolf, the top two, at least in my opinion. Jose Paniagua in there as well. But he has struggled lately, so it will be Tipmore to get the opportunity here. The first batter he will face is Grant Como, who made the final catch in that last half inning, and that first one hits him. Oh, that's not the best start at all. Blake Tipmore, 6 foot, 210 out of Rollins College. So far this year, 1.71 ERA, 3-0, 14 appearances, all out of the bullpen. 21 innings pitched, 12 hits given up, 4 earned runs, 9 walks, 27 strikeouts. Making his 15th appearance, has appeared in the most amount of games for the Lightning, and he gets a strike call on a Hayden Gustafson. Last time out was July 19th against the Snappers. That was a 7-3 loss here on Saturday. Pitched an inning, had a clean bill. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. But before that, also against the Snappers, in the 11-5 loss on the 17th, he struggled. He came into a jam, pitched an inning and 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, a double, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And it seems like the times where he struggles have been when he comes into games inheriting a jam and inheriting runners on the base paths. Way ahead of Gustafson, and that one skips way away of Cole Bullen. He's got to get there quick, rounding second and heading into third. Now here comes the throw. Oh, man, and they just barely miss Grant Como.
Risky base running. Wow.
So that'll be a 2-base wild pitch. That one skipped super far away from Cole Bullen.
I don't know if the coaching staff will agree with that decision of taking from first to third Grant Como, because no one away, whether you're at second or third, you're not the winning run, you're not the tying run. That's risky.
Right. So Gustafson in a 1-2 count with a runner standing 90 feet away. Pokes this one into right field. That's down for a base hit. It's now a 4-2 ball game here as the Snappers have some life. Still nobody out.
But if you don't take third, you can't score right there. You'd be at runners at the corners at this moment. So great job on Grant Como to take the extra 90 feet on top of the extra 90 feet. And then hitting Gustafson, just delivering.
So that'll bring up the tying run to the plate, and it's in the hands of Mario Travella, who has been an absolute monster this last week for Orlando. And out of all the teams this season, Tipmore has struggled the most against the Snappers. I mentioned the times where he's run into trouble. It's when he's been inheriting runners on the base paths. First time that happened came back on June 17th against the Snappers. Came into the bases loaded jam and gave up a grand slam. 1-1, swung on and missed. Went upstairs with a fastball. Obviously just surrendered the 1 earned run, though it was 4 runs that came across with a grand slam. Gave up 2 hits in 1 inning. That home run had a strikeout. 1-2, check swing. Did he go? No.
Well,
says the umpire at first.
That grand salami came against the guy who's on deck.
Yeah, William Walburn. Good memory. Guess it's hard to forget those. 2-2. Popped up. Shallow right field. James Strom drifting out. So is Jenkins. He's got it. Oh, what a grab in foul territory. Ryan Jenkins gets out number 1 in a huge one. And William Walburn will come up to bat.
What a great play by Jenkins. He's made a couple tonight. No bigger one than that one. Absolutely phenomenal. In foul territory, had a battle, not just the fence, not just the playing grounds, foul territory, but James Strom as well. So we obviously have to do some extensive research to see how Walburn has faced off against Tipmore in total, but we do know that he's gotten a hold of one for a grand slam. That was back in June. Tipmore trying to win the battle this time. Would love a ground ball here, make his defense go to work. Lightning have yet to turn to double play this evening. And now would be a great opportunity.
Gustafson, not the best speed over there at first base. We likely will not see him running on Cole Bolin. Titmore behind in the count, 2-0. That's upstairs, 3-0 to William Walburn. On deck is Hudson Gwynn. You know, Titmore would obviously like to see him potentially tomorrow.
I think Titmore remembers that home run. Based on the approach he's taking against Walburn right here.
You don't really forget those, especially a grand slam. And it's a 4-pitch walk to William Walburn. So he will face Hudson Gwynn, and that will prompt a mound visit from Coach Billings. There is a righty warming up in the bullpen. I do not believe they are ready just yet. Situation 2 on, 1 down. Bat in the hands of Hudson Gwynn, who is 0 for 3. He's due. This season, Titmore really hasn't struggled that much with the free passes lately. He did struggle at the start of the season. His first 3 outings gave up at least 2 free passes. But after that, hasn't given up more than 1 walk in a game since. In total, Titmore has given up 9 walks in 21 innings. But remember, 6 of those 9 came all the way back in his first 3 outings. So after that, just 3 walks total. This was his 4th. So the visit breaks up. Titmore, a returner to this Lightning squad, knows Coach Billings very well. I'm sure that that was a beneficial conversation for him, and we'll see if it pays off.
It's always nice, an advantage when you get to play summer ball league for the coach that you played during college season. Never hurts. Not saying it's Titmore's case, but never hurts.
Right. Obviously, never hurts.
There's a couple of Lightning players that's the case.
Right. Fitzgerald's played for him. Jenkins has played. A bunch of others. Bertoft as well. 1-0. Big cut and a miss from Gwynn.
Even Thurman in center.
Thurman as well, yeah.
And on top of that, a lot of returners from last season for Rich Billings in summer ball as well.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch from Titmore. Big swing and a miss. Hudson Gwynn trying to flip this game on its head with 1 swing of the bat, but he's coming up empty.
No, that's exactly what I was thinking when he was heading to the plate. Don't try and do too much because we've seen Hudson Gwynn try and hit a grand slam when there's only 1 on base.
One, 2, check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did! Titmore gets Hudson Gwynn 2 down.
That's exactly what it was right there. The moment got too big. Hudson trying to do too much. Titmore worked him perfectly. That 1 and 2. Fastball up in the strike zone. Got the big hitter to swing.
Last hope for the Snappers in the hands of Julian Mercado. 2-hit night for him. And a called strike first pitch. Whatever Coach Billings said seems to be working as of now. Last inning, Mercado, Pierzynski, and Irizarry all reached. 2 of them with hits, and Pierzynski with the lone walk. 0-1. Too far inside. Not a bad miss from Titmore at all. Titmore set at the belt, the 1-1. Popped up, out of play, foul. Snappers down to their last strike now. A 4-2 ball game. We've been at a standstill since 6th inning when the Lightning picked up an RBI double off the bat of Reed Snyder. The righty Titmore set at the belt, takes a look at second. The pitch is fouled, out of play. We'll do it all again.
Oh, my car's there. Watch out.
fan that caught that ball. It's from Tavares. I know that kid. I think that's my host brother. 1-2 from Tipmore. Ooh, just missed above the zone. Deuces run wild. Under the lights here at Pat Thomas Stadium. Just past 10 o'clock. Tipmore delivers. Ground ball out to short. Grant Jordan going to go the easy way. He throws to second, and the Lightning force a game 3. Their backs against the wall. They pick up a victory, and it's win or go home tomorrow. The winner of tomorrow's matchup will face the Sanford River Rats in the 2025 Florida League Championship. A great pitching performance from Leesburg, and same goes for Orlando. But it was the Lightning bats to edge out the Snappers tonight and to force a pivotal Game 3 matchup tomorrow.
Well, that's exactly what it was, and it was a huge start for the Lightning. 2-run first inning. They won the ballgame by 2 runs. That first inning really proved to be a huge one for the home team, and they got their fans behind them tonight as well. Huge advantage for them. They took full advantage of it playing here at home. They wasted no time getting on the board and getting this victory, 4-2 the final.
We'll take a break here, and we'll wrap everything up. Don't go anywhere. Back with the totals after this. Welcome back to Pat Thomas Stadium. Good news, the Lightning win it, and they force a Game 3 matchup tomorrow night, a rubber match between the Snappers and Leesburg. It will be in Orlando, and Esteban, it is going to be a good one.
Oh, it should be a phenomenal one. You know what I'm a little bit sad about? I left my charger there, my laptop charger, 2 nights ago. So I went there and got it yesterday, or checked that today. Because I was like, you know what?
Expecting to win, huh?
Yeah, maybe we won't play there tomorrow. Let me drive 30 minutes and get it. I should have waited because tomorrow's game is going to be a phenomenal one. These two teams going head-to-head. The winner will make its way to the final. So we're expecting a treat tomorrow from TFA.
Yeah, and well, the way it's been going, we might see another pitcher's duel. But remember, both offenses have been really good this summer, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of a slugfest. But no matter what, we will be there joining each other on the broadcast here on Varsity Sports Nation. We'll go ahead and wrap everything up real quick. First, we want to highlight some great pitching performances first from Tanner Walker, 3 2/3, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts on the other end. Happel wasn't as good, 3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts, but he was good enough to at least give the Snappers a chance to come back, try to tie or try to potentially win it, but they were unable to do so. Another lights-out game from the Lightning bullpen, thanks to Scout Updike, James Hill, Brian Bertoft, and Blake Tipmore. All of them allowing just 1 earned run. An amazing job out of the bullpen here tonight. Final score, 4-2. Lightning win it. The totals, 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the Snappers. For the Lightning, 4 runs on 10 hits and 1 error as well. Once again, we will see you tomorrow night for Game 3 of the first round of the 2025 playoffs. For my partner, Esteban Velez, I'm Vic Masley saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow night, folks.